Hello, welcome to CREATA classes. I am Gurmeet Singh. In this lecture, we will cover the CBSE additional practice questions for mathematics class 10th 2024. This video will be a long lecture, so stay tuned. For additional resources, check out the description like the PDF of the formula and the additional video lectures. Check out the description for additional resources. So without taking any further time, let's start with the section A, question number 1. Which of the following could be the graph of the polynomial? A polynomial function is given and 4 options of the graph are given. We have to check out of the 4 graph which is the graph of the polynomial x minus 1 whole square into x plus 2. So let's equate it with y. Y is equal to x minus 1 whole square into x plus 2. Here we will put the different value of x and we will get the value of y, and we will check which of the 4 graph is satisfying our value. For example, we will put x is equal to 0, then we will put x equal to 1 or minus 1, x equal to 2, minus 2, different value, and we will match that value with the graph. Let's see how we proceed. Let's take x as 0. Let's put x is equal to 0 in the equation. We got y is equal to minus 1 whole square into 2, that is 2. For the value of x as 0, we are getting y as 2. That is the coordinate is 0, 2. Let's check out which graph is satisfying the coordinate 0, 2. That is at x equal to 0, y is equal to 2. The first graph is not satisfying the coordinates. The second graph is also not satisfying the coordinate. Yes, third graph is satisfying the value 0, 2. X is equal to 0 and y is equal to 2. Let's check for the fourth graph. The fourth graph is also not satisfying the coordinate. So we can say our answer is C. Okay, we got the answer as C. Still, if you want to cross check, you can check for different values of x. For example, let's take x is equal to 1 just for cross checking. If you are having two graphs in which the first coordinate is matching, then you should go for the second coordinate. Just for your understanding, I am taking one more value. Let's take x is equal to 1. Let's put it into the function. We got y is equal to 0. Our coordinate is 1, 0. So the option C is satisfying 1, 0. So we can say the option C is the correct one. Got it? You should understand the approach how we have solved the question. Just put the different value of x and get the different value of y and cross check the coordinate with the graphs. Here our option C is matching. So we have done with this question. Let's move to next question. Let's move to question number 2. You can pause the video and you can try to solve this question on your own. Okay, just pause the video. So welcome back. Let's solve this question. In this question, the 3 lines are given and the name of the lines are given as K1, K2 and K3. Do not worry, these are just the names of the line K1, K2 and K3. K1 is given as x plus 2y is equal to 3. K2 is given as x plus 2y is equal to 6. And K3 is given as px plus qy is equal to 1. Here P and Q are the unknown terms that are given in the line K3. Further, the solution of the line K1 and K3 is given. Let's understand the term the solution of the two line. The solution of the two line is the point at which the two lines are intersecting. Or in other words, we can say the points or the coordinate which are satisfying both the lines. That is the solution of two lines. For example, here the solution of K1 and K3 is given as x is equal to 3, y is equal to 0. In the coordinate terms, it will be 3, 0. 3, 0 means the x coordinate is 3 and the y coordinate is 0. So the 3, 0 will be the point of intersection of the line K1 and K3. So this is the point, it is 3, 0 and this point is satisfying both the equation. Satisfying both the equation, it means if we put x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 0, the left hand side and right hand side of that equation or of that line will be equal to each other. So you should understand the term the solution of the two lines. Got it? Here if you take the line x plus 2y is equal to 3 and if we put x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 0, on left hand side we will get the answer as 3, which is the right hand side. It means this point is satisfying the equation. Before solving the question, the basic understanding of the concept is must. Rest is simply just applying the simple mathematics. Got it? Let's move further. Further, it is also given the solution of the line K2 and K3 is 4, 1. That is x is equal to 4 and y is equal to 1. So this is the coordinate 4, 1, and this coordinate is satisfying the line K2 and the line K3. And this question is asking which of these is the equation of the line K3. We are having 4 options and we have to tell which is the equation of the line K3. K3 it is given as Px plus Qy is equal to 1. It means we have to calculate the value of P and Q. Whatever value we got for P and Q, we will just put it into the equation of the line K3. That will be the answer. That is the equation of the line K3. Firstly, let's find the value of P and Q. The equation of line K3 is given as Px plus Qy is equal to 1, and this line is passing through the point 3, 0 and the point 4, 1. It means this equation will satisfy both the point. Both of these points are on the line K3, so both of these points will satisfy this equation. Let's take the point 3, 0 and let's replace x with 3 and y with 0. We got 3p plus 0 is equal to 1. On solving, we got p is equal to 1 by 3. So we got the value of p. That's good. Let's go for the value of q. So let's put the coordinate 4, 1, that is x is equal to 4 and y is equal to 1 in the equation K3. Px plus Qy is equal to 1. We got 4p plus q is equal to 1. And just now we have got p is equal to 1 by 3. Let's put p as 1 by 3. On solving, we got q as minus 1 by 3. P as 1 by 3, q as minus 1 by 3. We got the value of p and q. And in the question, we have to find the equation of the line K3, which is Px plus Qy is equal to 1. Let's put P and Q. Let's take the LCM as 3. We got x minus y is equal to 3. That is the answer option A. X minus y is equal to 3. Got it? This is the answer, the option A. I am taking slightly extra time so that I can build the basic fundamental. The same question will not repeat in the actual board exam. The question will be slightly different or maybe slightly tricky. So understanding the basic fundamental and spending some extra time on the question is must. It will really help you in the mid of the examination. Got it? So we have done with this question. Let's move to next question. Question number 3 is, what are the roots of 3x square is equal to 6x? Here we have to find the root of the equation 3x square is equal to 6x. It means we have to find the value of x. Let's proceed. Here the common mistake done by the student. Firstly, analyze the common mistake. Here what the most of the students will do, they will cancel out one x on both sides. That is, this x and this x will cancel out. We will get 3x is equal to 6 and on solving x will be 2. So they will put the option A, that is only 2 as the answer. But this approach is not correct. Here we will not cancel out x with x. Here we will solve this equation. For that, let's take 6x on left hand side. We got 3x square minus 6x is equal to 0. Let's take 3x common. We got 3x into x minus 2 is equal to 0. That is 3x is equal to 0 or x minus 2 is equal to 0. Here we got x is equal to 0 and here also we got x is equal to 2. So basically we got two values of x, 0 and 2. So the answer option D is the correct one, 0 and 2. Do not do the mistake of cancelling out x with x. Okay, got it? Are you understanding the basic concept? Here if we put the value of x as 0 in the main equation, here on left hand side we got as 0, on the right hand side we again got as 0. So the value of 0 is satisfying this equation. So that is the root of this equation. Do not underestimate the value of 0. This is very important. If we put the value of x as 2 in the equation, it is again satisfying this equation. Got it? The common mistake done by the students, that is the trick of this question, and the question framers know this common mistake. That's why they have given this question. So we have done with this question. Let's move to next question. The coordinates of the center of the circle O and the point on the circle N are shown in the figure below. So this is the question number 4. You can pause the video and try to solve this question. So let's approach the question. Here circle is given, the coordinate of the center is given, that is minus 4, 3, and the coordinate of a point on the circumference is given, which is minus 2.4, 1.8. So we are given two coordinate and we have to find the radius of this circle. That is the question. So what is the radius of this circle? ON is the radius of this circle. ON is the distance between the point O and N. It means this question does not belong to the chapter circle. It belongs to the chapter coordinate geometry. Got it? Here we have to find the distance between the 2 points. The distance formula will be applicable. And what is the distance formula? It is root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. This is the distance formula. You can also take it as x1 minus x2 or y1 minus y2, anything that you like. The same concept we have discussed in the theory part of the chapter, where we have seen that you can take anything as x1, x2, y1, y2. The square term will neutralize the effect. So do not be so strict with the formula. Just take whatever value you want. The answer will be same. So let's take x1, y1 as the point O and x2, y2 as the point N. Let's put the value. Let's apply the simple mathematics and let's solve it. Here 1.6 square will be 2.56. 1.2 square it will be 1.44. On addition we got root of 4, that is 2. So the radius of this circle is 2 units. That is the answer of the question. Very simple question. Got it? So we have done with this question. Let's move to next question. So let's move to the question number 5. You can pause the video and try to solve this question on your own. This will really help you understand the question much better. Okay, pause the video. So here in this question, this figure of the triangle is given. Here these two angles are given as equal to each other. And PR is given as 20 centimeter. And further it is also given the line segment ST divide QR into the ratio of 2:3. It means QT is to TR is 2:3 or RT is to TQ is 3:2. Further we have to find the length ST. This length we have to calculate. Let's proceed. Here are you able to observe the big triangle PQR, the triangle which is given, and also the triangle SQT, this triangle. Let's take this triangle out of the figure. We are having two triangles. Can we say these two triangles are similar to each other? Can we say? You can pause the video and think why these two triangles are similar to each other. It will really help you out. Okay. So further proceed. Here in the two triangle, angle Q is common. So angle Q will be equal to angle Q, and angle T and angle R. These two angles are also given as equal to each other. So here two sets of angles or the corresponding angles are equal in these two triangles. So we can say both the triangles are similar to each other by angle-angle criteria. In the angle-angle criteria, if two angles, the corresponding two angles of a triangle are equal, then we can say both the triangles are similar to each other. Angle-angle criteria. Once we got the two triangles are similar, we know the ratios of the corresponding sides are equal. Note that in similar triangle, the ratios of the corresponding sides are equal, not the corresponding sides are equal. That is the case of congruent triangle. In similar triangle, only the ratios of the corresponding triangles will be equal. It means QT upon QR will be equal to QS upon QP will be equal to ST upon PR. Let's take these two part of the equation, that is QT upon QR is equal to ST upon PR. PR it is given as 20 centimeter. QT is to TR is given as 2:3. We can take QT as 2x and TR as 3x. Okay, QT is to TR it is 2:3 and 2x is to 3x it will be 2:3. Why we have taken x? Because the ratio is 2:3. It can be 4:6, that is also 2:3. It can be 6:9, that is again 2:3. The ratio is just 2:3. So we have taken QT as 2x, that is a multiple of 2, and TR as 3x, that is a multiple of 3. Here QR, this total length will be equal to 3x plus 2x, which is 5x. So we got QR as equal to 5x. So let's put the value. X and X will cancel out. We got ST as 8 centimeter. That is the option B, the answer of this question. Got it? That is the answer. The fundamental that we have used to solve this question is the similarities of the triangle. And within the similarities of the triangle, we have used the angle-angle similarity criteria. Rest is your visualization. If you are able to visualize the triangle SQT and the big triangle PQR, As both are similar to each other, you can easily solve the question. So do not directly jump on the question, just visualize the question, imagine the question. The better you are able to visualize the question, the better you are able to solve the question. So we have done with this question. Let's move to next question. So this is the question number 6. Pause the video and try to solve this question on your own. So let's approach the question. In this question, the two triangles are given, PQR and ABC. Anas and Rishi, the two friends, maybe they are observing these two triangles, and Anas is saying triangle PQR is similar to triangle CBA, and Rishi is saying triangle PQR is congruent to triangle CBA. Here note that it is not given triangle ABC, it is given CBA. The sequence of the vertex matter in the similarities and the congruent. Here the two triangles are given. Firstly, let's analyze whether these two triangles are congruent, whether these two triangles are similar, what is the condition of both of this triangle. Here angle P is given as equal to angle C. This is the symbol of equalities of the angles. Angle P and angle C are equal. So angle P will correspond to angle C, and angle R and angle A are given as equal. So angle R and angle A will correspond to each other. So here the two angles of the triangle are equal to each other. Two angles of two triangles are equal. It means both are similar to each other via angle similarity criteria. If in two triangles the two angles are equal, then we can say both the triangles are similar to each other. So we can say both of these triangles are similar to each other. But the important thing is how you write the similarities. Here the corresponding angle should match with each other. The triangle PQR is similar to P should match with C. So the first component will come as C. The second component should match with Q, that is B. And the third component should match with R, that is A. So we can say the triangle PQR is similar to triangle CBA. So Anas is right. The triangle PQR is similar to triangle CBA. So we got the two triangles as similar. Let's check whether the two triangles are congruent or not. Here the side PR in the triangle PQR is given as 3 cm, which is the side between the angle P and R. And angle P correspond to angle C and angle R correspond to angle A. So the side between these two corresponding angle PR is the corresponding side CA, which is not given in this question. So PR is given as 3 cm and CA is not given in the question, but AB is given in the question as 3 cm, which will correspond to the side QR. So here if we want to apply the angle side angle criteria, the criteria for the congruency of the two triangle, here the criteria will not be applicable. Angle side angle in this triangle is not matching with angle side angle of the second triangle. So the statement given by Rishi, the triangle PQR is congruent to triangle CBA, is wrong. That is incorrect. So only Anas is right, that is both the triangles are similar to each other. So the answer is option A, that is only Anas is right. Got it? Very good question. The concept of similarities as well as the concept of congruency you must know to solve the question. You can review the congruency lecture if you want to revise side criteria, side criteria, angle side angle criteria, and RHS criteria. These criteria are applicable for the congruency triangle. This you must revise before taking the board exam. Okay, this is important. So we have done with this question. Let's move to next question. So this is the question. You can pause the video, review this question and try to solve this question on your own. So let's approach the question. Harsha has made a wind chime. Wind chime is a small musical kind of thing that is put on the houses for musical sound and for pure energy. So Harsha has made a wind chime. The figure is given in the question. She has punctured 8 holes on the top triangles and she has hanged 6 metallic rods in the 8 holes. The distance between the holes is given at 2 cm. The length of the first rod is given as 6 cm and the length of the last rod is given as 29 cm. Second rod and the second last rod both are missing, and we have to find the length of the fourth rod or the third rod, as the second is missing. We have to find the length of this rod, which is the number 4 from the first hole. Okay. So here we are having total 8 holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The distance between these holes are 2 centimeter. We can approach this question in two ways. Both the ways are very simple. We will take one by one. The first approach we will use using the triangles. The second approach is using the arithmetic progression, EP. Let's take one by one. Firstly, using the triangles. Here, if you observe the figure, are you able to observe a triangle in the given figure? This is a triangle. Firstly, let's calculate the different sides and observe this triangle. This complete distance it is given as 29 centimeter and this distance it is given as 6 centimeter. So what will be this distance? It will be 29 minus 6, that is 23 centimeter. That is one of the side of this triangle. Got it? We are able to observe one of the side of this triangle. Further, can we find this side of this triangle? Let's see. The distance between the holes it is given as 2 centimeter. So can we find this distance, this complete distance, which will be equal to addition of distance between all these holes, which is 14 centimeter. The distance between all these holes is 2 centimeter. In totality, if we add, we got this distance as 14 centimeter. One side we got as 23 centimeter, the second side we got as 14 centimeter. Further, in this question, we have to calculate the length of this rod, the rod P. This component of the rod, it is 6 centimeter. Rest, we have to calculate this component of the rod. Let's assume this component as X. We got a line segment which is dividing the triangle into two parts, or dividing the line segment or the side of the triangle into two parts. This complete distance is 14 centimeter. Can we calculate this distance? It will be 2 plus 2 plus 2, that is 6 centimeter. This will be used in this question. To further solve this question, let's take the triangle out of the figure. It will be easy to solve. Further, here are you able to observe two triangles in the given figure? This big triangle and this small triangle. Can we say these two triangles are similar to each other? Yes, both the triangles are similar to each other. Both the triangles are sharing this common angle. So this angle will be equal in both the triangle. And this angle is equal to 90 degree in both the triangles. The rods are hanging from the top. So these two angles are equal to 90 degree. So by angle criteria, both the triangles are similar to each other. Once we got the two triangles are similar to each other, we can say the ratio of their corresponding sides will be equal to each other, which will be x upon 23 is equal to 6 upon 14. These are the corresponding sides. Let's calculate the value of x. It will be equal to 69 upon 7 centimeter. So this x we got as 69 upon 7 centimeter. We have to find the total length of the rod. This portion is 6 centimeter. This portion we have calculated as 69 upon 7. So the total length of rod will be equal to 6 plus 69 upon 7, which is 111 upon 7. That is the answer, which is the option D. 111 upon 7 centimeter is the length of the rod. Very simple. Just we have identified two triangles in the given figure and these two triangles are similar to each other. Just we have applied the ratios of the corresponding sides in similar triangles are equal to each other. Very simple. The next approach that we can also use is arithmetic progression, AP. Let's see. Here the length of the first rod is 6 centimeter and the length of the last rod is 29 centimeter. Here if we take it as a series, the first component is 6 centimeter and the last component is 29 centimeter, and we have to calculate the length of the fourth component or the fourth item. So let's see, here A is equal to 6 centimeter, that is the first component, and we do not know the distance D. Do not do the mistake of taking the distance D as 2 centimeter. That is the horizontal distance. And here the sequence is going in this direction. So here this distance is not 2 centimeter. This is 2 centimeter and this is not 2 centimeter. This is the difference between the 2 point, that is D. The last item is given as 29 centimeter. So we will apply the AP formula, that is AN is equal to A plus N minus 1D. The last item is the 8th item. So here N will be equal to 8 and A is equal to 6 centimeter. Let's put the value. We got D as 23 upon 7 centimeter. So we got the D, that is the distance between the two items or the two component. Let's find the fourth item, that is the length of the fourth rod, which will be equal to A plus N minus 1D. A is 6 centimeter, N is 4 and D we have just calculated as 23 upon 7. On solving, we got 6 plus 69 upon 7. This you can compare it with the previous method, the triangle method. 69 upon 7 plus 6, it is matching, which is equal to 111 upon 7. That is the answer, option D. So you can use any of the one method. Either you can use the similarities of the triangle or you can go with the arithmetic progression. But you should know both the method. The question framer can put any of the question and you should know all the methods to solve the question. That is the beauty of mathematics. You can reach the end result using different methods. So we have done with this question. Let's move to next question. So let's move to question number 8. This is question number 8. Pause the video and try to solve this question on your own. So let's approach this question. In this question, two circles are given. The circle with the center as O and the second circle with the center as N. And the common point between both the circle is the point P. And further, it is also given O, P and N are the collinear. It means these 3 points are on a straight line. This is a straight line and these 3 points are coming on a straight line. Further, a tangent OX is also given, which is given as 18 centimeter. And the radius of the circle with center as O is given as twice the radius of the circle with center as N. Pn is the radius of the circle with center as N. Let's take it as R. So the radius of the circle with center as O, this circle, it will be 2R. Got it? Radius of this circle is R and the radius of this circle is twice, so it will be 2R. Further, OX, it is given as 18 centimeter, and in this question we have to find the radius of the circle with center as N. It means we have to find the value of R. Okay. Here NP is the radius, that is R, and NX will also be the radius R. These two line segments are the radius for this circle. And we know that tangent and the radius are perpendicular to each other. The concept we have covered in the chapter circle. Radius and tangents are perpendicular to each other. So here this angle will be equal to 90 degree. Are you able to observe a right angle triangle in the given figure? This is a triangle and this triangle is a right angle at the vertex X. And once we got a right angle triangle in any figure, we can apply the Pythagoras theorem and we can also apply the trigonometric ratio formula. Here we will go with the Pythagoras theorem. Here ON is the hypotenuse, as hypotenuse is the side which is opposite to 90 degree angle. Here this is 90 degree angle, this is the opposite to 90 degree angle. So ON is the hypotenuse for this triangle. So let's apply the Pythagoras. Hypotenuse square, that is ON square, is equal to XN square plus OX square. And what is OX? It is 18 centimeter. And what is NX? It is R. And what is ON? It will be 2R plus R, that is 3R. Let's put it into the equation. On solving, we got R as 9 upon root 2. The simple mathematics we have applied. You can pause the video and see the calculation. The simple mathematics, nothing special. So we have done with the question number 8. The concept that is applicable in this question. The first concept, the radius and the tangent are perpendicular to each other. The second concept, the Pythagoras theorem. Based on these two concepts, we have solved this question. So we have done with this question. Let's move to next question. So let's move to question number 9. Pause the video and try to solve this question. This will be really helpful. So let's approach this question. In this question, the circle is given with the center as O and 3 tangents are given. These are the 3 tangents. And these 3 tangents are touching the circle at point P, T and S. So these are the point of contact. Tangent is a line segment which touches the circle at only one point. Further in this question, QR, it is given as 12 centimeter. So this distance, it is given as 12 centimeter. The radius of the circle, it is given as 7 centimeter. Here OP and OS are the radius of the circle, which is given as 7 centimeter. And we have to find the perimeter of the polygon PQTRSO. And this is the polygon and we have to find the perimeter of this polygon. What is perimeter? Perimeter is just the length of the boundary. It means we have to find the length of the boundary or the perimeter of this polygon. We have to find all the 5 sides of this polygon. The distance RS, the distance SO, the distance OP, the distance PQ, the distance QR. These 5 sides we have to calculate. The 3 sides we already know. OS and OP are the radius which are given as 7 centimeter. QR it is given as 12 centimeter. Just you have to calculate QP and RS, these two distance. Okay, so let's proceed. The concept that will be applicable in this question is the concept of the tangent. Tangent from an external point to a circle are equal to each other. Here if we take the point R as an external point, RT and RS are the two tangents from this external point toward the circle. So RT and RS will be equal to each other. Got it? The tangent from an external point to a circle are equal to each other. Let's assume both RS and RT as x. So RS will be equal to RT is equal to x units. Further, similarly, if we take the point Q as an external point, here QT and QP are the two tangents toward the circle. So QT and QP will be equal to each other. The tangents from an external point are equal, the same concept. And what is QT and what is QP? It is not given in the question. But the complete length QR, it is given as 12 centimeter. And just now TR we have assumed it as x. So can we say QT is equal to 12 minus x? The complete length is 12 centimeter. TR we have assumed as x. So QT will be equal to 12 minus x. And QT and QP both are equal to each other. The tangents from the external point concept. So QP will also be equal to 12 minus x. Further, we have to find the perimeter of the polygon. The perimeter of the polygon will be equal to OP plus PQ plus QR plus RS plus SO. Let's put the value. The radius is 7 centimeter, QR is 12 centimeter, QP is 12 minus x and RS is x. So here minus x and plus x, this will cancel out with each other. On solving, we got the perimeter as 38 centimeter. That is the answer of the question. Got it? So which concept we have used in this question? The concept of the tangent. Tangent from the external point toward a circle are equal to each other. The second concept we have done is the perimeter. Perimeter is the length of the boundary. So based on these two concepts, we have solved this question. So we have done with this question. Let's move to next question. This is the question number 10. Pause the video and try to solve it. So let's take down this question. This question involves the concept of trigonometry 90 minus theta. This topic has been excluded from the topic, but still CBSE has given this question. So let's approach this question. Note that here 90 minus theta formula will be involved. That is not part of the current syllabus, but still we will take it down. Here on referring the table, this portion we got cosec 35 degree is equal to P. Here theta it is 35 degree. Further, cosec 65 degree is equal to 1.1. This we got from the first row, and if we observe the second row, here it is given sec 90 minus theta is equal to 1.7, and theta it is given as 35 degree. That is sec 90 minus 35 it is given as 1.7. Further, sec 90 minus 65 it is given as equal to Q. These four equations are given and we have to calculate the value of P and Q. The direct formula that is involved is sec 90 minus theta is equal to cosec theta. This formula we will apply. Here sec 90 minus 35 degree it is given as 1.7. So sec 90 minus theta it is equal to cosec theta. So sec 90 minus 35 degree it will be equal to cosec 35 degree. So we got cosec 35 degree is equal to 1.7. And if we compare these two equations, both involve cosec 35 degree. So P is equal to 1.7. Got it? We got the value of P. Let's find the value of Q. Here sec 90 minus 65 it is given as equal to Q. And just now we have seen sec 90 minus theta it is cosec theta. So sec 90 minus 65 degree it will be equal to cosec 65 degree. And if we compare these two equations, we got Q is equal to 1.1. We got the value of P as 1.7. We got the value of Q as 1.1. So we got the answer of this question as C. P is equal to 1.7 and Q is equal to 1.1. Got it? This concept is not part of your syllabus. So we have done with this question. Let's move to next question. This is the question. Pause the video and try to solve this question. So let's approach the question. In this question, PQRS is given as a square. This is a square. It means all the four angles of a square are equal to 90 degree. Here some values are given in this question, like PU it is given as 8 centimeter, UQ it is given as 15 centimeter, and PQ it is given as 17 centimeter. And we have to find the value of sine of angle SPT. This is the angle SPT. For simplicity, let's denote this angle as theta. Just for simplicity, this angle is theta. We have to find the value of sine theta. Okay. Further, here angle P, the complete angle P is equal to 90 degree. Why? Because PQRS is given as a square. If the complete angle is equal to 90 degree and this angle is theta, can we say this angle is 90 minus theta? Got it? The complete angle is 90. One angle is theta, so the other component will be 90 minus theta. And if you observe the triangle PQU, this triangle, here this angle is 90 minus theta, this angle is 90 degree. What will be this angle? It will be equal to angle theta. How? Let's use the sum property of the triangle. That is, the sum of three angles of a triangle is equal to 180 degree. Angle P plus angle Q plus angle U within the triangle is equal to 180 degree. So 90 minus theta plus 90 plus angle Q is equal to 180 degree. On solving, we got angle Q as equal to theta. Got it? We got angle PQU, this angle, as equal to angle theta. And in the question, we have to find the value of sine theta. And what is the formula of sine theta? It is perpendicular upon hypotenuse. And what is perpendicular in this triangle and what is hypotenuse in this triangle? What is perpendicular? Perpendicular is the side which is opposite to trigonometric angle. Here angle theta is a trigonometric angle whose value we have to calculate. So the side opposite to angle theta is the side PU. So PU will be perpendicular for this triangle. And what is hypotenuse? Hypotenuse is the side which is opposite to 90 degree angle. Here this angle is 90 degree, so this side will be the hypotenuse for this triangle. So we got perpendicular and we got hypotenuse. So we got sine theta as 8 upon 70. That is the answer of the question. Got it? Interesting question. Many times CBSE really put very interesting question and very good questions. So we have done with this question. Let's move to next question. So this is the question number 12. Pause the video, observe the question and try to solve the question. So coming back, in this question a trigonometric problem is given and also the solution of the trigonometric problem is given. And we have to identify which step is wrong. 4 steps are given for the solution of the problem and we have to identify which step is wrong. Let's take one by one. In the first step, what we have done, we have replaced 1 with cot square theta minus cosec square theta. They have used the trigonometric identity formula. These are the trigonometric identities formula. These 3 are the trigonometric identity formula. This step is wrong. Cot square theta minus cosec square theta is not equal to 1. It is cosec square theta minus cot square theta is equal to 1. So this step is wrong. The step number 1 is wrong. Step 2, step 3 and step 4 are absolutely correct. Only step number 1 is wrong. So the answer is A, step number 1. Got it? Let's move to next question. Question number 13. This question is incomplete. Something is missing in this question. I will tell you how. The question is, a circle with radius 6 cm is shown below. The area of the shaded region in the circle is of the area of the circle. Here something is missing between the word is and of. The area of the shaded region in the circle is 1/3 of the area of the circle, 1/2 of the area of the circle, 1/4 of the area of the circle. So some fraction is missing in this part. And further a figure is given, the radius is given, and we have to calculate the length of the circle's minor arc. So basically we will go backward in this question. We will try to find what is missing in this question. We have generated our own question. We will go in a backward direction and we will try to identify what is missing in this question. All the concept will remain same. The formulas that will be applicable, just we will go in the reverse order. If you refer the CBSE answers, the answer to this question is A, that is 16 pi upon 3 centimeter. The length of the minor arc is 16 pi upon 3 centimeter. So we know the answer. Now we will go in the backward direction and we will find what is missing in this question. Got it? Why we are doing so? Just for the understanding and building the basic blocks. Okay, let's proceed. Here length of the circle minor arc, it is given as 16 pi upon 3. This is the figure. Let's take this angle as theta, and this is the minor arc for the circle. This is the major arc and this is the minor arc. And what is the length of arc of a sector? What is the formula? It is theta upon 360 into 2 pi r. If you refer the chapter area related to the circle, only three formulas are used: area of the sector, the length of the arc, and area of the segment. Okay, only three formulas are there. You can refer the description if you want to revise the concept. Further, here theta upon 360 into 2 pi r, it is equal to 16 pi upon 3. Let's find the angle theta. Here radius is given as 6 centimeter. Let's put the radius as 6. Let's solve it. On solving, we got angle theta as equal to 160 degree. This angle we got as 160 degree. Got it? Let's move further. Here in the question, if you refer, the area of the shaded region in the circle is dash of the area of the circle. Let's put here dash as x. Now we will read it again. The area of the shaded region in the circle is x of the area of the circle. So here, what is the area of this shaded region? It will be equal to area of the sector. This is a sector. So what is the formula of area of sector? It is theta upon 360 into pi r square. And what is theta? Here this angle will be theta. This angle is 160 degree. The complete revolution angle, it is 360 degree. So this angle will be equal to 360 minus 160, which is 200 degree. So we got this angle as 200 degree. So the area of the shaded region will be equal to 200 upon 360 into pi r square, and radius is 6 centimeter. Further, this area is equal to x times area of the circle. And what is the area of the circle? It is pi r square. So this term will be equal to x times pi r square, and we have to find the value of x. Okay. Here radius, it is 6 centimeter. These two terms will cancel out with each other. We got x as 200 upon 360. Here let's cancel out. 0 0 will cancel out. On solving, we got x as 5 upon 9. So we got the answer of this question, or in the reverse order, the answer is 5 upon 9. The area of the shaded region in the circle is 5 upon 9 times the area of the circle. Got it? This is the missing part. Now you can again solve the question in the normal order without going in the reverse order. The answer will be option A, that is 16 pi upon 3 centimeter. So we have done with this question. Let's move to next question. Further, let's go to question number 14. This is the question. Pause the video and try to solve this question. So let's approach the question. In this question, a regular pentagon is given which is inscribed inside the circle. The center of the circle, it is given as O, and the radius of the circle, it is given as 5 centimeter. And we have to find the area of the shaded part of the circle. Here three shaded parts are given. So how we will find the area of the shaded part? If you observe this part, this is looking like a sector, and this part is looking like a triangle, and this part is looking like a segment of the circle. Got it? This shaded part is basically the sector, a triangle, and a segment. A sector, a triangle, and a segment. Got it? Further, these two areas will be equal to each other. This is a regular pentagon. All the areas will be equal. So area of this segment will be equal to area of this segment. Let's move this shaded portion to this portion. Now what we got? We got a sector. This is also a sector, and this is also a sector. So how we will proceed with this question? We will find area of any of the one sector, and we will multiply it with 2. We will get the area of the complete shaded portion. So let's find the area of the sector. Area of the sector is equal to theta upon 360 into pi r square. Radius, we know it is 5 centimeter. The missing component is the angle theta. Here in the figure, a regular pentagon is given. Let's join a line segment here. Here all these 5 angles will be equal to each other, as it is a regular pentagon. The complete revolution angle, it is 360 degree. And all these angles will be equal to each other. So this angle will be equal to 360 upon 5. So this angle is 72 degree. So we got the area of the sector as 5 pi centimeter square, and we are having two sectors. So the area of two sectors is equal to 2 into 5 pi. That is 10 pi centimeter square. That is the answer of the question. Got it? Do not do the mistake of just taking area of one sector. This is a general mistake done by the student. They in hurry calculate the area of the sector and put the answer as 5 pi centimeter square. But note that here we are having two sectors. So we have to multiply the area of one sector by 2 to get the final answer of the question. Got it? Do not be in hurry. Just be cool and try to solve the question. Patience is the key. Okay? So we have done with this question. Let's move to next question. Let's take down this question. Here a cuboid of base area P is given. This is a cuboid. The area of the base, it is P square units, and it is filled with water up to some height. The height is given as Q units. It is filled with water up to the Q units height. Further, a sphere of volume R cubic units has been put into the cuboid. This caused a rise in the level of the water, and the rise in the level of the water, we assume it as H units, and we have to calculate the value of H, that is the increase in the height of the water. So let's proceed. Here can we say the increase in the height of the water or increase in the volume of the water is equal to the volume of the sphere. Whatever is the volume of sphere we have put or dropped into this cuboid, that amount of volume of the water will increase. Before putting the sphere, the height is Q. After putting the sphere, height has been increased by H units. So we can say the volume of this portion of the cuboid or this portion of the water will be equal to volume of the sphere. So we will calculate volume of the increase in the water. Here increase in the level of the water will be in the form of cuboid. Okay, the base area is given as P square units. That is the area of the base of the cuboid, it is P, and height is H. So what is the volume of cuboid? It is length into breadth into height. And length into breadth is the area of the base, which is given as P. So the volume will be P into H. Got it? How we have calculated the volume of the cuboid? Volume of the cuboid is L into B into H, and L into B is the area of the base, which is given as P. So the volume, it is equal to P into H, the volume of the cuboid, and the volume of the cuboid or increase in the water is equal to volume of the sphere, which is given as R. P into H, it is equal to R, so H will be equal to R upon P. That is the answer of the question. Got it? Option B. So we have done with this question. Let's move to next question. Let's move to question number 16. Observe the question and try to solve this question. So let's proceed with this question. Three friends, Sweetie, Nitesh and Ashraf, visited the hospital for their annual checkup. They have done the blood pressure checkup. Blood pressure of Sweetie is 121, Nitesh it is 147, and Ashraf it is 160 in the higher range. Further, a table is also given, the table of the hospital, in which the range of blood pressure, that is class intervals, are given, the range of blood pressure, and against this class interval the number of patients are given, the frequency, the number of patients are given, and we have to calculate who among the three friends have a blood pressure reading that falls in the model class. So this is the question. So how we proceed with the questions of the model class? We just go for the higher frequency. Here if you refer the frequency portion, the number of patients, 19 is the highest frequency, and against this frequency the class interval or the blood pressure range, it is 145 to 155. And among the three friends, which friend is having the blood pressure in this range? The range is 145 to 155. Only Nitesh is having the blood pressure in the range of 145 to 155, that is 147. So the answer is Nitesh. Got it? This is the answer. Very simple question. So we have done with this question. Let's move to next question. Question number 18. Pause the video, observe the question and try to solve this question on your own. So welcome back. Let's solve this question. In this question, Guinea flipped the coin 3 times and every time the output is a tail. And Guinea again want to flip the coin, and we have to tell what is the possibility of getting a head. In the previous 3 cases, we got a tail. What is the possibility of getting a head in the 4th trial? So the approach to this question is that probability does not depend on the previous cases. In the previous cases, we are getting tail. It does not mean we will get the output depending on the previous cases. Previous cases have no effect on the future cases or the present cases. So the possibility of getting a head will be a new case, which will be equal to 0.5. Possibility of getting a head or tail, it is 50-50%, that is 0.5. So our answer is C, that is 0.5. Here the question framer want to check your understanding that the probability of getting a head or tail, will it be depending on the previous cases or not? The answer is that the probability of getting an event does not depend on the previous history. Okay. So we have done with this question. Let's move to next question. So this is the question. Observe the question, pause the video and try to solve this question on your own. So let's approach this question. In this question, a number q is given, which is prime factorized as 3 square into 7 square into b. That is, we have broken that number into the prime factors. 3 square, 7 square and number b. And b is a prime number. Obviously, we have done the prime factorization. So all the numbers will be the prime number. And it is given the number b is other than 3 and 7. Okay, we got it. Assertion and reasoning are given. In the assertion, it is given that q is definitely an odd number. So let's check whether q is an odd number or an even number. Here it is given as 3 square into 7 square into b, and b is a prime number. What are prime number? The prime numbers are 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17. All these are prime number. Only prime number which is even is number 2. All the other prime numbers are odd. This is the trick that we will use to solve this question. Before that, you should know odd into odd, it is always an odd number. You can take any odd number and you can multiply that with the odd number. The output will be odd. Like 5 into 3, both are odd. The output is 15, that is again odd. 7 into 3, odd into odd, it is 21, which is odd. So odd into odd, it is always odd. Even into even, it is always even. 4 into 2, 6 into 2, 10 into 10, everything even into even, it is even. And odd into even, it is always even. 2 into 7, 14, odd into even, it is always even. Okay. So here we are multiplying 3 square by 7 square. What is 3 square? It is odd square. That is odd into odd, it is odd. And what is 7 square? That is 7 into 7, odd into odd, it is odd. And what is odd into odd? It is again odd. So 3 square into 7 square, it will be an odd number. And we are multiplying it with b. b is a prime number other than 3 and 7. So it can be 2. If it is 2, then odd into 2, that is odd into even, it will be an even number. Other than 2, all the prime numbers are odd number. So in all the other cases other than 2, it will be odd into odd, which is an odd number. Only in case of 2 as a prime number, it is an even. So the number q can be an odd number or it can be an even number. So the assertion is false. It is given q is definitely an odd number. It is false. Okay. Let's check out the reason. In the reason part, it is given that 3 square into 7 square is an odd number. Yes, this is true. 3 square it is odd, 7 square it is odd, odd into odd it is odd. So the reason is correct. So assertion is wrong and reason is correct. Our answer is D. A is false and R is true. So we have done with this question. Let's move to next question. So this is the question. Pause the video and try to solve this question on your own. So let's approach this question. In this question, 2 points are given, point P and point Q. Point P is minus 2, 5 and point Q is 2, minus 1. In the assertion, it is given the midpoint 0, 2 is the only point equidistant from the point P and Q. So let's find the midpoint. Midpoint formula in the coordinate plane, it is x coordinate x1 plus x2 upon 2, y coordinate y1 plus y2 upon 2. Let's take this point as x1 y1 and this point as x2 y2. We got the x coordinate as 0 and the y coordinate as 2. We got the midpoint coordinate as 0, 2. It is given that the midpoint is the only point equidistant from point P and Q. Is it? The midpoint is equidistant from the point P and Q. This is true. The midpoint is equidistant from the point P and Q. The midpoint is the center point. It will be equidistant from both the point. So midpoint is equidistant from both the point. This is true. But is the midpoint is the only point which is equidistant from the 2 points? No, we are having several points which are equidistant from the point P and Q. Suppose we take a point here. This point can also be equidistant from point P and Q. This point can also be equidistant from point P and Q. This point can also be equidistant from point P and Q. On the other side, this point can also be equidistant from point P and Q. This point, this point, this point, this point, all these points can be equidistant from the point P and Q. So the assertion is wrong. That is, the midpoint is the only point equidistant from P and Q is false. Okay. In the reason it is given, there are many points x comma y where x plus 2 whole square plus y minus 5 whole square is equal to x minus 2 whole square plus y plus 1 whole square are equidistant from P and Q. What this equation is given? Let's see. Let's take this point as x comma y. We have taken any of the one point as x comma y, and let's assume this point is equidistant from P and Q. What will be this distance? How we will find? We will use the distance formula. Distance formula tells us the distance between the two coordinates. Here let's assume this coordinate as x1 y1 and this coordinate as x2 y2. Let's put the value. So this is the distance between these 2 points. Further, what will be the distance between the point xy and this point? Again, we will use the distance formula. Let's take this point as x1 y1 and this point as x2 y2. Let's put it into the distance formula. We got this answer, that is the distance between these 2 points. And point xy is equidistant from P and Q, so these two distances will be equal to each other. So let's equate both the values. Root and root will cancel out. These two terms will be equal to each other. The same equation is given in the question. Got it? That is given in the reason. So only the reason is correct, assertion is wrong. So the option D will be applicable, A is false and R is true. Got it? That is the answer of this question. So we have done with the section A. Let's move to section B. Let's take the next question. This is the question. Observe the question, pause the video and try to solve this question on your own. So let's approach this question. In this question, two girls are given, Kimaya and Hina. They are at the point P as given in the figure. And at the same moment, both the girls started moving toward their destination. Kimaya started moving toward the clubhouse on the circular path and Hina started moving toward the badminton court on the circular path. This is the complete circular path. The distance between the clubhouse and the badminton court, it is given as 180 meter. The complete circular path, it is 800 meter. Further, the average speed of Kimaya has been given as 100 meter per minute and the average speed of Hina, it is given as 80 meter per minute. And it is also given Hina took 1 minute more than the Kimaya to reach her destination. Okay, this is given in the question. Let's approach the question. Let's take the distance between the point P and the clubhouse as x. It means Kimaya has traveled the distance x with an average speed of 100 meter per minute. And let's assume the distance between the point P and the badminton court as y. That is the distance traveled by Hina at an average speed of 80 meter per minute. Let's assume the time taken by Kimaya to reach the clubhouse as t1 and the time taken by the Hina to reach the badminton court as t2. Kimaya took 1 minute more than the Kimaya to reach her destination, or we can say Kimaya has taken 1 minute less than the Hina. Are you understanding? Both the things are same. Kimaya has taken 1 minute more than the Kimaya, or Kimaya has taken 1 minute less than the Hina. Can we say t1 is equal to t2 minus 1? Yes, we can say so. Kimaya has taken 1 minute less than Himaya to reach the destination. So Himaya has taken t2 minutes. So we can say the time taken by Kimaya will be t2 minus 1. Got it? Further, we have to calculate the time taken by Hina to reach the badminton court. It means we have to calculate t2. That is the time taken by Hina to reach the badminton court. So let's approach this question. Here the concept of speed and distance will be used. That is, distance is equal to speed into time. Here let's start with the Kimaya. The distance is x units that we have assumed and the average speed is 100 meter per minute and the time is t1. So we got x is equal to 100 t1. Further, let's go for Hina. The distance is y, the average speed is 80 and the time is t2. We got distance is equal to speed into time, y is equal to 80 into t2. We got the value of x and y in terms of time. Further, if you observe the circular path, the length of the circular path, the complete circular path, it is given as 800 meter, which is comprising of x meters traveled by the Kimaya, y meters traveled by the Hina, and the remaining 180 meters, that is the distance between the clubhouse and badminton court. Can we say x plus y plus 180, that is the addition of these three distances, equal to 800 meter? Yes, we can say so. We got x plus y plus 180 is equal to 800. And we have already calculated the value of x and y. Let's put it into the equation. We got 100t1 plus 80t2 is equal to 620. And here t1, it is t2 minus 1. So let's replace t1 with t2 minus 1. We have done so because in the end we have to calculate the value of t2. Here the only variable in this equation is t2. We will solve this equation for the only variable, that is t2, and we will get our answer. So let's solve it. It will be 100t2 minus 100 plus 80t2 is equal to 620. 180 t2 is equal to 720. t2 is equal to 720 upon 180. 0 will cancel out. We got our answer as 5 minutes. The time taken by the Hina to reach the badminton court is 5 minutes. Okay, that is the answer of the question. Got it? So we have done with this question. Let's move to next question. This is the question. Pause the video and try to solve this question on your own. This question belongs to the tangent and the circle. So let's approach this question. In this question, a circle is given with the center as O and three tangents are given. These are the three tangents. The point of contact is A, E and C. Point of contact, the point at which the tangent is touching the circle. Tangent is a line segment that touches the circle at only one point. Here we are having three tangents, and these tangents are touching the circle at the point A, C and E. Further, AE is given as a diameter. AE is given as diameter. This is important. It means AE is a straight line. If you observe the figure, OA is the radius and OE is also the radius. We are having two radius. It does not mean they are in a straight line. The two radius can also look like this, slightly twisted, not in a straight line. But here in the question it is given that AE is a straight line. It means the radius OA and OE are coming in a straight line. This is important. Further, in this question, a quadrilateral is forming, the quadrilateral AEDB, and we have to show at least one pair of the opposite side of AEDB is parallel. If you observe this quadrilateral, AB and ED are the two opposite sides and AE and BD are the two opposite sides. And we have to show any of the one opposite sides are parallel to each other. So let's approach this question. Here the fundamental that will be used is the tangent and the radius are perpendicular to each other. If we talk about this tangent and this radius, both will be perpendicular to each other. This angle will be equal to 90 degrees. This is the concept of the tangent. The tangent and the radius are perpendicular to each other. These concepts of the tangent belong to the chapter circle. We are having a PDF of the formula and concept list. Check out the link in the description. Got it? Similarly, if we take this tangent and this radius will also be perpendicular to each other. So this angle will be a 90-degree angle. Got it? And if we apply the concept of the transversal, if we take these two tangents as a two line segment and AE as a transversal, let's take these three line segment out of the figure. Here if you observe, these two angles are equal to 90 degree. The addition of these two angles is equal to 180 degree. 90 plus 90, it is 180 degree. It means these two angles are supplementary. And in case of transversal, if these two angles are supplementary, then we can say these two line segments are parallel to each other. This is the concept of the transversal. The interior angles on the same side of the transversal, if they are supplementary, then the line segments will be parallel to each other. So we can say these two line segments are parallel to each other. Got it? And once we got these two line segments as parallel to each other, their component or subpart will also be parallel to each other. That is AB and ED, that are the component of these two line segments or the tangent, are also parallel to each other. So we got AB as parallel to ED. That is the answer of this question. Got it? We have done with this question. So the concept that we have used to solve this question is the concept of tangent and the radius. The tangent and radius are always perpendicular to each other. And once we got these two angles as 90 degree, we have simply applied the concept of the transversal and we got the two opposite tangents as parallel to each other. So we have done with this question. Let's move to next question. So this is the question. Observe the question, pause the video and try to solve this question on your own. In this question, a right circular cone is given and the volume of this cone is given as 13,600 centimeter cube. Further in this question, we have to find the angle which the slant height makes with the base radius. This is the slant height of a cone and this is the base radius. That is the radius of the base. We have to find the angle between the slant height and the base radius. That is this angle we have to find. Okay. So let's find this angle. Here the concept of the volume and the concept of the trigonometry will be used. Let's see. Here the volume of the cone is given as 13,600 centimeter cube. We know the formula of a volume of a cone, which is 1 by 3 pi r square h. R is the radius and h is the height of the cone. The radius, it is given as 20 centimeter. Let's put it into the formula. Volume is also given. Let's solve for h. H is equal to 3 into 13,600 upon pi into 20 square. Let's put pi as 3 as given in the question. Here 3 and 3 will cancel out. These zeros will cancel out. We got 136 upon 4, which is equal to 34 centimeter. We got height of the cone as equal to 34 centimeter. Got it? We got the height of the cone. The radius is already given in the question. We have to find this angle. Let's assume this angle as angle theta. If you observe, this is a right angle triangle. Once we got a right angle triangle, we can easily apply the trigonometry in the triangle. Here our angle theta is a trigonometric angle. Let's find the trigonometric sides. Trigonometric sides are perpendicular, base and hypotenuse. Here 34 centimeter, this side will be equal to perpendicular. Perpendicular is the side which is opposite to trigonometric angle and this is a trigonometric angle. So the side 34 centimeter is the perpendicular for this triangle. Further, what is base? Base is the side between the 90 degree angle and the trigonometric angle. So the side 20 centimeter is the base of this triangle. Got it? And what is the relation between the perpendicular and the base? It is tan theta. Tan theta is equal to perpendicular upon base. If you want to revise the concept, the link is given in the description, the complete series, including the formula list and the quiz. Check it out. Further, we got tan theta is equal to perpendicular upon base. Perpendicular is 34, base is 20. So tan theta will be equal to 34 upon 20. And 34 upon 20, it will be equal to 1.7. We got tan theta as 1.7. And if you refer the question, 1.7, it is root 3. In the note it is given, take root 3 as 1.7. So we got tan theta is equal to root 3. And for what angle? The value of tan theta, it is root 3. Let's refer the trigonometric ratio table. Tan theta is equal to root 3 at 60 degree angle. Note that the value of tan theta, tan 30, tan 45 and tan 60. These three values you must remember. These will be mostly used in the examination. Tan 30 degree, it is 1 upon root 3. Tan 45, it is 1. Tan 60, it is root 3. Rest of the trigonometric ratio table you should also know. How to remember the complete trigonometric ratio table? The link is given in the description. Check it out. Further, we got angle theta as 60 degree. That is the answer of the question. So how we have solved this question? We have used two concepts. First, the volume of a right circular cone, that is 1 by 3 pi r square h. And we have used the concept of trigonometry, that is tan theta, which is perpendicular upon base. And we have also used the concept of trigonometric side, that is perpendicular is the side opposite to trigonometric angle and base is the side between 90 degree angle and trigonometric angle. Based on these three concepts, we have solved this question. So we have done with this question. Let's move to next question. So this is the question. Observe the question, pause the video and try to solve this question. In this question, the two right angle triangle are given. These are the two triangles and these are the 90 degree angle, that is right angle triangle. And we have to find the distance marked with question. It means we have to find this side. So this is the question. Let's approach the question. Before that, one thing you should know, in the trigonometry, if we are having the trigonometric angle and any of the one side, one side and one angle, we can find all the missing dimensions of that triangle by using the trigonometric ratio. You should know the value of sine theta, cos theta and tan theta. These are the three formulas that you must know, and also this trigonometric ratio table. This trigonometric ratios formula and this trigonometric ratio table you must know. The questions will be asked in the examination based on the trigonometric ratio table and the trigonometric ratio formula. So you must know them. You can take the screenshot or you can download the PDF. The link is given in the description. The formula and the concept list of the trigonometry, it will be really helpful. So here, if we take this triangle, here one side is given and one angle is given. So once we got one angle and one side, we can find anything about that triangle using the trigonometric ratio. Let's see. Here, let's give the name of this side as x just for simplicity. The first step is to find the trigonometric sides. Here, this is a trigonometric angle which is 45 degree. So this side will be the perpendicular. Perpendicular is the side which is opposite to trigonometric angle. So 2 centimeter is a perpendicular for this triangle. And what is hypotenuse? Hypotenuse is the side which is opposite to 90 degree angle. So this side will be the hypotenuse for this triangle. And what is the linking between the perpendicular and the hypotenuse? It is sine theta. Sine theta is equal to perpendicular upon hypotenuse. Here angle theta it is 45 degree, perpendicular it is 2 centimeter and hypotenuse it is x that we have assumed. So we got sine 45 degree is equal to 2 upon x. And what is the value of sine 45 degree? Let's refer the trigonometric ratio table. Sine 45 degree is 1 upon root 2. A small advice for you, just when you start your examination, draw a small trigonometric ratio table on the side as we have discussed in our trigonometric ratio table lecture. This trigonometric ratio table will be really helpful. In the mid of the examination when you are solving the question, then if you try to draw the trigonometric ratio table, it may be clumsy, you may be in the hurry and you may do some silly mistake. So just when the exam is started, just draw a small trigonometric ratio table. It will hardly take 30 seconds. And it will be really helpful. So we got sine 45 degree is equal to 1 upon root 2. On solving, we got x as 2 root 2 centimeter. Got it? We got x as 2 root 2. Now let's take this triangle. In this triangle, we know one angle and we know one side. Again, once we know one angle and one side, we can find anything about that triangle. Let's see. Here the trigonometric angle is 60 degree. And this side we know as 2 root 2 and we have to calculate this side. Firstly, let's identify the trigonometric sides. Firstly, the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is the side which is opposite to 90 degree angle. So this side is the hypotenuse which is given as 2 root 2 centimeter. And what is base? Base is the side between the 90 degree angle and the trigonometric angle. So this side will be the base for this triangle. Let's assume it as y. So let's proceed. What is the linking between the hypotenuse and the base? It is cos theta. Cos theta is equal to base upon hypotenuse. So cos 60 degree will be equal to base upon hypotenuse. We got cos 60 degree is equal to y upon 2 root 2. And what is the value of cos 60? Let's refer the trigonometric ratio table. It is 1 by 2. Are you able to understand the importance of the trigonometric ratio table? Once this trigonometric ratio table is handy to you, you can solve all the questions related to the trigonometry very easily. So let's proceed. Let's find the value of y. On solving, we got the value of y as root 2. That is the answer of the question. Got it? Very interesting. So we have done with this question. Let's move to next question. So this is the question. Observe the question, pause the video and try to solve this question on your own. So let's solve this question. In the question, a figure is given. Here ABCD is a rhombus. And what is rhombus? Rhombus is a type of parallelogram in which all the sides are equal. One additional thing that you should know about the different properties of the type of parallelogram. Like you should know about the rectangle, rhombus, square, all the properties you should know. A question may be asked in the examination which is linked to the different type of parallelogram. If you do not know about these parallelogram, you will be not able to solve the question. A link is given in the description just for the properties of the parallelogram or the type of parallelogram. Check it out. It will be really helpful. Further, let's back to the question. Here ABCD, the rhombus is given. All the four sides of this rhombus is equal. Further, the angle 60 degree is given and the side of the rhombus is given as 3 centimeter. It means all the four sides of this rhombus is equal to 3 centimeter. Further, two arcs are given, this arc and this arc. And the radius of the arc is equal to the side of the rhombus. It means if we take this arc, the radius of this arc will be this distance. The radius of the arc is equal to the side of the rhombus. Similarly, the radius of this arc will be equal to the side of rhombus, this distance. Further, we have to find the area of the shaded region, this region. So let's proceed. If we take one half of the shaded region, this portion, can we say this is a segment of a circle? We can draw a complete circle around the center C. The radius is the side of the rhombus. And this portion is the segment. Basically, we have to find the area of the segment. In totality, we are having two segments. We will find the area of one segment. We will multiply it with 2 to get the complete area of the shaded portion. This strategy we will use. So firstly, find the area of the one segment. And what is the formula of area of the segment? We do not have a specific formula for the area of the segment. The philosophy is that area of segment is equal to area of the complete sector minus area of the triangle. Here this is the complete area of the sector and this is the area of the triangle. Just we have to subtract the area of the triangle from the area of the sector. We will get the area of the segment. So firstly, let's find the area of the sector, that is theta upon 360 into pi r square. And what is radius here? R, it is 3 centimeter. And what is theta? Theta, it is 60 degree. Let's put the value. We got 3 pi upon 2, that is the area of the sector. Let's also find the area of the triangle. How we will find that? Here this angle is 60 degree and in the theory part we have done that whenever this angle is 60 degree in case of sector, then that triangle is an equilateral triangle. In this triangle, these two are the radius. So the angle opposite to the equal sides are equal. These two are radius which will be equal to each other. So the angle opposite to the equal sides will be equal. These two angles will be equal to each other. Let's take these two angles as x. And if we apply the sum property of the triangle, that is the sum of three angles of a triangle is equal to 180 degree, we got 60 plus x is equal to 180 degree. On solving, we got the value of x as 60 degree. It means all the three angles of this triangle is equal to 60 degree. So this is an equilateral triangle. Got it? Whenever this angle is 60 degree, this triangle is an equilateral triangle. And what is the formula of area of an equilateral triangle? It is root 3 by 4 a square, and a is the radius. All these formulas we have covered separately in a PDF format. Go to the description and download the PDF of the formula and concept list for specific chapter. It will be really helpful. So this is the area of the triangle. Let's find the area of the segment, which is area of sector minus area of triangle. Let's put the value. So this is area of one segment. And in the question, we have to find the area of the complete shaded portion, which are two segments. So let's multiply area of one segment with 2 to get the area of the complete shaded portion. We got the answer as 3 pi minus 9 root 3 upon 2. That is the answer of the question. Got it? We have done with this question. So the fundamental that we have used to solve this question is the area of the sector, the area of the triangle, especially the equilateral triangle, area of the segment, and also the property of a rhombus. So we have done with this question. Let's move to next question. So this is the next question. Observe the question, pause the video and try to solve this question on your own. So welcome back. In this question, Wasim made a model of Pacman. Pacman, the famous game you must be knowing. This is the Pacman game. And Wasim made a model of the Pacman. The area of the model is 120 pi centimeter square. It means area of this shaded region is given as 120 pi centimeter square. This angle is given as 60 degree. The angle of the mouth of the Pacman, it is given as 60 degree. Further in the question, it has been asked that Wasim want to decorate this model by attaching a colored ribbon on the boundary of the Pacman shape figure, the model. We have to calculate the length of the ribbon required. So basically we have to find this length, the complete length of the boundary on which the ribbon will be attached. Got it? This is the question. Let's approach the question. Are you able to observe the model of the Pacman as a model of a circle with the sector, the major sector and the minor sector? This is the minor sector and this is the major sector. And we have to calculate the boundary of this model. It means we have to calculate the length of this arc plus these two radius. Note that here these two radius are also part of the complete boundary. Do not do the mistake of only just calculating the length of the major arc and forgetting to add the length of the radius. These two radius will also be the length of the boundary. So we can say the length of the boundary is equal to the major arc plus radius or twice of radius. Got it? So firstly we have to find the length of the arc. And what is the formula of length of the arc? It is theta upon 360 into 2 pi r. Here we are talking about the major arc, so the applicable angle will be this angle. The complete revolution of angle, it is 360 degree. This angle is given as 60 degree, so this angle will be equal to 300 degree. Only the missing component in this formula is the radius. So basically we need the radius of this circle. For that a hint is given in the question, that is the area of the model is given as 120 pi centimeter square. It means area of the major sector or area of the shaded region, it is given as 120 pi centimeter square. And what is the formula of area of the sector? It is theta upon 360 into pi r square. And here theta it is 300 degree, the shaded region, the theta it is 300 degree. Let's put the value. On solving we got r square is equal to 12 into 12. So r will be equal to 12 centimeter. Got it? We got the value of radius, that is 12 centimeter. Now we can find the length of the arc, that is the length of the major arc. So this is the formula. So let's put the value of radius 12 centimeter in this equation, the length of the major arc formula. On solving we got the answer as 20 pi centimeter. That is the length of the major arc. And in the question we have to calculate the length of the boundary. That is the length of the major arc plus twice of radius. So let's put the value, let's put the radius as 12 centimeter. We got our answer as 20 pi plus 24. That is the answer of this question. Got it? The fundamental that we have used is the area of the sector, the area of the major sector, the length of the major arc. These two formulas we have used and solved this question. So we have done with the section B. Let's move to section C. Let's move to question number 26. Pause the video and try to solve this question on your own. So welcome back. Let's approach this question. In this question, the three numbers a, b and c are given, which are already prime factorized in the terms of 2, 3 and 5. A, b and c are the three numbers which are prime factorized in the terms of 2, 3 and 5. Further, the powers of 2, 3 and 5 are given in the number a, b and c. Like in the number a, the power 2 is r, the power to 3 is p, and the power to 5 is q. Similarly, for b and c also, the powers are given in the form of p, q and r. And in this question, we have to find the value of a, b and c. And how we will find the value of a, b and c? We will find the value of p, q and r, that is the power of 2, 3 and 5. If we got the value of p, q and r, we can easily find the value of a, b and c. So in this question, our aim is to find the value of p, q and r based on the given condition. The first condition, it is given p is smaller than q and q is smaller than r. It means r is the largest of p, q and r and p is the smallest of p, q and r. Got it? P is the smallest, then comes the q, then comes the r. And it is also given p, q, r are the natural number. Natural number, the numbers start with 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to infinity. These are the natural number. Two conditions are given. In the first condition, it is given the largest number that divide a, b and c without leaving a remainder is 30. And what is the largest number? Think. It is the HCF, highest common factor. So HCF of a, b and c are given as 30. Okay. In the second condition, it is given the smallest number that leaves a remainder of 2 when divided by each of a, b and c is 5402. Here the hint toward the LCM is given. The smallest number that leaves a remainder of 2. So the LCM will be 5402 minus 2. We have just subtracted the remainder 2 from the number, that is 5402. We got the number as 5400. This is the LCM. Got it? HCF is given as 30, LCM is given as 5400. Based on these two conditions, we have to find the value of P, Q and R. So we have observed the question. Let's actually approach the question. Firstly, let's take down the HCF component, which is 30. How we will calculate the HCF, that is the highest common factor of number A, B and C. Firstly, let's take the prime factors, that is 2, 3 and 5. Further, in the process of calculating the HCF, we take the lowest power. The lowest power of 2, the lowest power of 3 and the lowest power of 5. And what is the lowest power of 2? Here for A, the power of 2 it is given as R. For B, the power is given as P. For C, the power is given as Q. And which is the smallest of R, P and Q? P is the smallest of the three number. It is given in the question. P is the smallest. So let's take the power of 2 as P in the HCF. Similarly, for the power of 3, it is given as P, R and Q. Again, P is the smallest. Let's take the power P for 3. Similarly, for the 5, the smallest power is P. Let's again take P. So we got 2 power P into 3 power P into 5 power P, which is the HCF, which is equal to 30. Let's take the power P as common. We got 2 into 3 into 5, whole power P is equal to 30. This we can do. The power P is common in the 3 number. We can take the power P out as a common power. We got 30 power P is equal to 30. Here the basis of left hand side and right hand side is equal. So we can equate the power of left hand side and right hand side. Power on right hand side, it is 1. 30 power 1, it is 30. So on comparing, we got P is equal to 1. We got P is equal to 1. That is one component. So we got P is equal to 1 from the HCF as 30. Let's move to the second condition where the LCM is 5400. So let's calculate the LCM. How we will calculate the LCM of A, B and C? What is the procedure? The procedure is similar to HCF, just here we will take the highest power. In the HCF we have taken the lowest power, in the LCM we will take the highest power. Again, let's take the prime factors 2, 3 and 5. Firstly, for 2, what is the highest power among R, P and Q? The highest is R. In the condition it is given, the R is the highest among P, Q and R. So let's take power R for 2. Similarly for 3, let's check it out. It is given P, R and Q. Again, R is the highest. Let's check power R for 3. Let's check for 5. Here it is given Q, P and again P. And among P and Q, which is the largest or which is the highest? It is Q. So let's take the power of 5 as Q. We got 2 power R into 3 power R into 5 power Q is the LCM of the number. LCM of A, B and C, which is equal to 5400. Further, we have to do the prime factorization of 5400 so that we can compare left hand side and right hand side. Let's do the prime factorization. So on doing the prime factorization, we got 2 power 3 into 3 power 3 into 5 power 2. Now we can easily compare left hand side with right hand side. We can compare the power of 2 with 2, 3 with 3 and 5 with 5. On comparing, we got R is equal to 3 and Q is equal to 2. So we got P, Q and R. Now we can easily find the value of A, B and C. Okay, we got the value of P, Q and R. Just simply we will put the value of P, Q and R and we will get the value of A, B and C. That will be the answer of the question. Firstly, let's take A. Here let's put the value of P, Q and R. We got 8 into 3 into 25, that is 600. Similarly, let's go for B. Let's put the value. We got 2 into 27 into 5, that is 270. Let's go for C. We got 4 into 9 into 5, that is 180. So we got the value of A, B and C. That is the answer of the question. Got it? So we have done with this question. Let's move to next question. Let's move to question number 27. This is a question number 27. You can pause the video and try to solve this question on your own. So let's approach this question. In this question, this girl Riddhi is throwing a stone in the air and that stone is following a parabolic path. This is the parabolic path. A parabola is given in the figure, which is shown in the coordinate plane. This is the x-axis, this is the y-axis, and this is the polynomial, the path followed by the stone. Further, the additional information regarding the polynomial is given, that is the sum of its 0 is 1 and the sum of its squares of the 0 is 25. Okay, we will use this, and we have to find the coordinate of the point P and Q and also the distance between the riddhi and the point where the stone will fall. It means we have to calculate this distance. The additional information is given, that is 1 unit on the graph represent 25 meters. Okay, this also we will use. So basically in this question a polynomial is given and we have to find the coordinate of point P and Q. That is, we have to find the coordinate of the point where this polynomial is touching the x-axis, where basically y is 0. Okay, and what is the equation of the parabola? It is a quadratic polynomial, that is square will be there, that is ax square plus bx plus c. This is the equation of the parabola where a, b and c are the coefficients of the x. Let's assume the zeros of the polynomial as alpha and beta. What are the zeros of the polynomial? Zeros of the polynomial are the point where the y will be equal to 0. This is a polynomial. Let's assume this as y. Y is equal to ax square plus bx plus c. That is a parabola. The point where y is equal to 0, that is these 2 points will be alpha and beta. That are the zeros of the polynomial. If we are able to find the zeros of the polynomial, we will be able to find the coordinate of the point P and Q that we are looking for. Let's solve this question, you will understand it more. So let's assume the zeros of this polynomial as alpha and beta. It is given the sum of the zeros of the polynomial is 1, that is alpha plus beta is equal to 1. Further, it is also given the sum of the squares of the zeros is 25, that is alpha square plus beta square is given as 25. The sum of the squares of the zeros, okay, alpha square plus beta square is equal to 25. We got two equations. Can we solve these two equations and get any output? Let's see. Here alpha plus beta, it is given as 1. Let's square both sides. We got alpha plus beta whole square is equal to 1 square, which is alpha square plus beta square plus 2 alpha beta is equal to 1. We have simply used the formula of a plus b whole square. Here alpha square plus beta square, it is given as 25. So let's replace this with 25. On solving, we got alpha into beta as minus 12. Okay, we got the product of the zeros of the polynomial, that is alpha into beta we got as minus 12. And in the question, the sums of the zeros of the polynomial is already given as 1. That is alpha plus beta, the sum is given as 1 and the product we have calculated as minus 12. Got it? And you must be knowing the relation between the alpha beta and the coefficients of the x. That is a relation between alpha beta, a, b and c. What is the relation? We are having two relations, that is alpha plus beta is equal to minus b upon a and alpha into beta is equal to c upon a. Alpha plus beta, that is the additions of the zero. Alpha into beta, that is the products of the zeros. Okay, and the addition it is given as 1, the product it is given as minus 12. That is we have just calculated. From this part we got b is equal to minus a. And from this part we got c is equal to minus 12a. Basically we have calculated the value of b and c in terms of a. B is equal to minus a and c is equal to minus 12a. Let's use the value of b and c. Let's put it into the equation of the parabola or the polynomial, that is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Let's put b as minus a and c as minus 12a. Let's take a as common. We got x square minus x minus 12 is equal to 0. Let's solve this. Let's do the factorization of 12. I'm just simply using the simple method. It will be x square minus 4x plus 3x minus 12 is equal to 0. Here minus 4 plus 3 it is minus 1 and minus 4 into 3 it is minus 12. We have simply solved this quadratic equation. Further, let's take x as common. We got x plus 3 into x minus 4 is equal to 0. We got x as minus 3 and x as 4. These are the two values of x at y is equal to 0. That is at the point where this polynomial or the parabola is touching the x-axis. At the complete x-axis, we are having y is equal to 0. These are the zeros of the polynomial. Are you understanding that? These are the zeros of the polynomial. One is minus 3 and one is plus 4. Let's correlate with the given graph. This is a given graph in which the point P and Q are the point at which y is equal to 0 or the zeros of the polynomial. One point is minus 3 and one point is plus 4. Which will be plus 4 and which will be minus 3? P will be plus 4 and Q will be minus 3. Q is in the negative x and P is in the positive x. Got it? In the coordinate term, the coordinate of point P, it will be 4, 0. Here 4 is the x and 0 is the y. Similarly, the coordinate of Q, it will be minus 3, 0. Minus 3 is the x coordinate and the y coordinate is 0. So we have done with the first part, that is we have calculated the coordinate of the point P and Q. Further, let's find the distance between the riddhi and the point where the stone fall. That is, we have to find this distance. This coordinate is minus 2, this coordinate is plus 4. So what will be this complete distance? 4 plus 2, that is 6 unit. The distance between the riddhi and the point P where the stone fall is 6 units. And in the question it is given what is 1 unit? It is 25 meters. So what will be the complete distance? It will be 6 into 25. That is 150 meter. We got the answer, that is the distance between the riddhi and the point where the stone fall is 150 meters. That is the answer of the question. So we have done with this question. Let's move to next question. Let's check the question number 28. In this question, two linear equations are given. These are the two linear equations and we have to find the value of m and n based on the three given conditions. The first condition is a unique solution, the second is infinite many solutions, and the third is no solution. Firstly, let's understand these three conditions. First, a unique solution. Unique solution means that two lines are intersecting with each other. Suppose these are the two lines and they are intersecting with each other. This intersecting point is the unique solution. That is a solution of both the equations. Second, infinite many solution. It means that two lines are intersecting at many points. That can only be possible if the two lines are overlapping with each other. So in the second condition, the two lines are overlapping with each other, so they have infinite many solutions. Got it? In the first case, the unique solution, the two lines are intersecting at one point. In the second case, the two lines are overlapping with each other. In the third case, no solution. It means the two lines will not intersect with each other. That is only possible when the two lines are parallel to each other. Got it? In the third case, the two lines will be parallel to each other. So based on these three conditions, we have to find the value of m and n in these two linear equations. So let's proceed with the question. Firstly, let's write the general equation of the line, which is ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. The first linear equation, it will be a1x plus b1y plus c1 is equal to 0. The second linear equation, it will be a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equal to 0. Here a1, b1, c1, a2, b2, c2 denotes the coefficients of the equation. Okay. If we talk about the first equation, here a1 will be 2 and b1 it will be minus m and c1 it will be minus 9. We have just taken the 9 on the left hand side. For the second equation, a2 it will be 4, b2 it will be minus n and c2 it will be minus 9. So we got the value of a1, a2, b1, b2, c1 and c2, and we are having specific conditions for the three cases. The condition for the first case, that is a unique solution, the condition is a1 upon a2 should not be equal to b1 upon b2. Here a1 is 2 and a2 is 4, b1 is minus m and b2 is minus n. The condition for the unique solution is a1 upon a2 should not be equal to b1 upon b2. That is 2 upon 4 should not be equal to minus m upon minus n. 2 upon 4 it will be 1 by 2 and minus on right hand side will cancel out. We got m upon n. If this condition is not matching, that is left hand side is not matching with right hand side, then we can say the linear equation will have unique solution. That is, they will be intersecting with each other at one point. So what will be the value of m and n? It can have many values. Suppose we take m as 1 and n as 3, then m upon n it will be 1 upon 3. Here 1 upon 2 is not equal to 1 upon 3. So our condition is not matching, that is a1 upon a2 is not equal to b1 upon b2. So we can say the two linear equations will have a unique solution. You can take any value of m upon n. You can take it as 2 upon 5, 7 upon 9, 1 upon 5, 2 upon 9, anything, but it should not be 1 upon 2. We cannot take it as 2 upon 4. That will comes out to be 1 upon 2. You can take any value. We have taken m as 1 and n as 3. So we got the value of m and n. Let's put into the equation. The equation will be 2x minus y is equal to 9 and 4x minus 3y is equal to 9. We can plot the equation on the graph. It will look something like this and it will have only one intersection point. That is a unique solution. You can try to plot the equation on the graph. It will be interesting. Got it? The first portion we have done. Let's go to the second case. Here the condition is infinite many solutions. That is, the two lines are intersecting at many points. That can only be possible if the two lines are overlapping with each other. That is, they are coinciding with each other. And what is the condition of two overlapping lines? It is a1 upon a2 is equal to b1 upon b2 is equal to c1 upon c2. We know a1, a2, b1, b2, c1 and c2. Let's put the value. We got 2 upon 4 is equal to minus m upon minus n is equal to minus 9 upon minus 9. Let's solve it. Minus minus will cancel out. 2 upon 4 it will be 1 by 2. So here we got 1 upon 2 is equal to m upon n is equal to 1 upon 1. Now what value we should put for m and n such that this equation will be satisfied? Can we put anything in place of m and n so that the complete equation will be satisfied? The answer is no, because 1 by 2 is not equal to 1 upon 1. You can put anything in place of m and n, this complete equation will not be satisfied, because 1 by 2 is not equal to 1 upon 1. So we can say the answer is impossible to frame the equation. Based on the given parameters, it is impossible to frame the equation. Got it? If you observe the given equation in the raw form, here the ratios of the coefficients are not matching. Here a1 and a2 are 2 and 4 and c1 and c2 are minus 9 and minus 9. On looking and observing the equation, you can directly say these two lines will not be overlapping with each other because the ratios of the coefficients are not equal. Here 2 by 4 it is 1 by 2 and 9 by 9 it is 1 by 1. So whatever you put the value for m and n, the condition of infinite many solution, that is overlapping line, will not be possible. So the answer is impossible to frame the equation. Got it? Let's go to third condition, that is no solution. It means the two lines are not intersecting with each other, that is the two lines are parallel to each other. And what is the condition? The condition is a1 upon a2 is equal to b1 upon b2 is not equal to c1 upon c2. Let's put the value. On solving, we got 1 upon 2 is equal to m upon n is not equal to 1 upon 1. What you should put in the place of m and n such that the complete equation will be satisfied? We can put m as 2 and n as 4. It will be 2 upon 4, which is basically 1 upon 2. Here 1 by 2 is equal to 1 by 2 is not equal to 1. Got it? We can also put m as 3 and n as 6. It will be 3 by 6. Or you can put as 4 by 8 or 5 by 10. Anything you can put, just the ratio should be 1 by 2. We will go with 3 and 6. Got it? So let's put value of m and n in the equation. We got 2x minus 3y is equal to 9 and 4x minus 6y is equal to 9. Let's try to plot the equation on the graph. It will look something like this. Here these two lines are parallel to each other and they are not intersecting at any of the point. So the third case is matching, that is no solution. They will not intersect with each other. So we have done with this question. Let's move to next question. Let's take the second part of the question number 28. This is a question. Pause the video and try to solve this question on your own. So let's approach the question. This question is talking about two pair of linear equations and 2 points of intersection of these two linear equations are given as 6, 0 and 0, 2. Now the question is how two linear equation can have two intersecting point. If you are having two lines, they can intersect at only one point or they can be parallel to each other. What is the condition in which they will have two intersecting point? That is only possible when they are overlapping with each other. If we take two overlapping lines, they will have infinite number of intersecting points. They will be intersecting at each and every point. So here question framer want to project is that the two lines are overlapping with each other and just the 2 points are given as 6, 0 and 0, 2. In the first part they are asking how many point of intersection does the pair of linear equations have in total. So the answer is that these two linear equations will have infinite number of points. As they are overlapping with each other, they will have infinite number of intersecting points. Got it? The first part we have done. The second part, the question framer is asking, find the equation that represent one of the line of the above pair. So basically, we have to find the equation of the line which is having 2 points as 6, 0 and 0, 2. So let's approach with this question. So let's have the general equation of the line, that is ax plus by is equal to c. Let's start with the first point, that is 6, 0. Let's put x as 6 and y as 0. 6, 0, here the x coordinate is 6 and y coordinate is 0. On solving, we got the value of a as c upon 6. We got the value of a. Let's use the second point, that is 0, 2. Here x is 0 and y is 2. Let's put it into the general equation of the line. We got 0 plus 2b is equal to c. On solving, we got b as c upon 2. So basically, we got the value of a and b in the terms of c. So let's put the value of a and b in the main equation, that is the general equation of the line. Here, let's take c as common. We got x upon 6 plus y upon 2 is equal to 1. Let's take the LCM as 6. It will be x plus 3y upon 6 is equal to 1. So we got the equation of the line as x plus 3y is equal to 6. This is the answer of the second part. So we have done with this question. Let's move to next question. So this is the question. Observe the question, pause the video and try to solve this question on your own. So let's approach this question. In this question, a circle is given with the center as O. PQ is given as the diameter of the circle. From the point R, a tangent is given. This is a tangent. Further, it is given PR and OS are parallel to each other. And we have to show that SQ is a tangent to the circle. This is SQ and we have to show this line segment is a tangent to the circle. How we can prove any line segment to a circle is a tangent? Tangent is a line segment that touches a circle at only one point. And how we can show this line segment is a tangent? Tangent is a property, that is the radius and tangent are always perpendicular to each other. Here if you observe, OQ is given as radius of the circle. If we are able to prove this angle as a 90-degree angle, then we can prove that this is a tangent, as radius and tangent are always perpendicular to each other. They make an angle of 90 degree with each other. So somehow we have to prove this angle as 90 degree. It means we have to play with the angles of the different triangles to get this angle as 90 degree. Let's see. Further, it is given as RS is tangent to the circle. It means our tangent and radius both are perpendicular to each other. This philosophy will be applicable to this tangent. Here OR is radius and RS is a tangent. So this angle will be equal to 90 degree. Got it? Tangent and radius are perpendicular to each other. Further, are you able to observe this triangle, the triangle OPR? Here OP and OR both are radius for the circle. So both will be equal to each other, radius of a common circle. So both will be equal to each other. OP is equal to OR. And in a triangle, we know the property, the angles opposite to equal sides are equal to each other. This is a property of a triangle. The angle opposite to the equal sides of a triangle are equal to each other. So these two angles will be equal to each other. This is important. You should know the properties of the triangle as well as you should know the properties of the different type of parallelogram. Without this, you will not be able to solve some of the questions. These properties you must know. Further, these two angles are equal to each other. Let's give the name to these angles as angle 1 and angle 2 just for simplicity. It does not matter. You can either give the full name. For simplicity, I have just given the name as 1 and 2. So here angle 1 is equal to angle 2. Further in the question it is given as PR and OS. These two line segments are parallel to each other. Are you able to observe the case of transversal in the given figure around the parallel line? If we take RO as a transversal for these two parallel lines, are you able to observe the complete case of transversals and the parallel line, only these three line segments? And we know in case of transversal, the alternate interior angles are equal to each other. So these two angles are the alternate interior angle, so will be equal to each other. Let's give the name to this angle as 3. So we can say angle 2 is equal to angle 3. Got it? The simple case of the transversals we have applied. So we have noted that other than the properties of triangle, the properties of parallelogram, you should also know the concept of lines and the transversals. This is important. If you want to refresh the concept, the link is given in the description. So we got angle 2 is equal to angle 3. Further, let's give name to this angle as angle 4. Just for the simplicity, are you able to observe this triangle, the triangle OPR? Here can we say angle 1 plus angle 2 is equal to complete angle 3 plus 4. This complete angle 1 plus angle 2 is equal to angle 3 plus angle 4. Why? We have used the exterior angle property of the triangle. This complete angle is the exterior angle which is equal to sum of two opposite angles of the triangle. This complete angle is the exterior angle. So we have simply used the exterior angle properties of the triangle. Exterior angle is equal to sum of two opposite angles of the triangle. Angle 1 plus angle 2 is equal to angle 3 plus angle 4. Got it? And here we know angle 1, angle 2 and angle 3, these three angles are equal to each other. So can we replace angle 1 and angle 2 with angle 3? All these three angles are equal. So we have just replaced angle 1 with angle 3 and also angle 2 with angle 3. Here angle 3 will cancel out. We got angle 3 is equal to angle 4. These two angles we got as equal to each other. Basically we got all these four angles, angle 1, 2, 3 and 4 are equal to each other. Got it? Moving further, here are you able to observe these two triangles? Can we say these two triangles are congruent to each other? Think why these two triangles are congruent to each other. You can pause the video and you can try. Rest we are proceeding further. These two triangles are congruent to each other. Let's check it out why. Here OS is a common side. In both the triangle we are getting OS is a common side. OR and OQ, these two are the radius of the circle. The radius of a common circle are equal to each other. So OR and OQ will be equal to each other. Further, just now we have proved angle 3 and angle 4 are also equal to each other. So by side angle side criteria, we can say both the triangles are congruent to each other. These two sides are equal, these two angles are equal, and these two sides are also equal. Side angle side criteria, both the triangles are congruent to each other. Once the two triangles are congruent, they are exactly copy paste of each other. All the three sides will be equal and all the angles will be equal to each other. So we can say these two angles will be equal to each other. That is, both are equal to 90 degree. Initially we have seen that angle ORS is equal to 90 degree. So this angle will also be equal to 90 degree. CPCT, the corresponding part of congruent triangles are equal. So these two angles will be equal to each other. Further, we got this angle as 90 degree that we are looking for. The angle between the radius and the tangent is 90 degree. And OQ is the radius. So QS will be the tangent to this circle. We have proved QS is the tangent to the circle. Got it? So that is the answer of the question. The properties that we have used is the property of the tangent. The radius and tangent are perpendicular to each other. Rest we have applied some of the properties of the triangle. The first property, the angle opposite to the equal sides are equal. So angle 1 and angle 2 will be equal to each other as they are angles opposite to the equal side. Further, we have used the exterior angle property of the triangle. Exterior angle is equal to sum of two opposite angles of the triangle. So based on these two properties, and also we have used the congruency fundamental. Side angle side congruency rule we have used to solve this question. Interesting question. We have used many properties of the triangle, so you should know all the properties of the triangle to solve the questions. Got it? Interesting one. So we have done with this question. Let's move to next question. This is the question. Observe the question, pause the video and try to solve this question. Let's approach this question. In this question, a circle is given and two tangents are given from the point A and C. And point O is the center of the circle. The two tangents are intersecting at the point B. It is given OA is perpendicular to OC. It means this angle is 90 degree. And we have to show that the quadrilateral OABC is a square. This is a quadrilateral OABC and we have to prove this quadrilateral is a square. And what is the property of a square? Square is a type of parallelogram in which all the angles are 90 degree and all the sides are equal to each other. We are having two type of parallelogram in which all the angles are 90 degree. One is rectangle and one is square. The difference between rectangle and square is that in square all the sides are equal, while in rectangle only the opposite sides are equal. Here we have to prove the quadrilateral as a square. It means we have to prove all the angles, all the four angles of the quadrilateral is 90 degree. And we have to prove all the sides of this quadrilateral are equal to each other. If we are able to prove these two criteria, we can prove it is a square. So let's proceed. Here AB is given as tangent and OA is the radius of the circle. We know the radius and tangent both are perpendicular to each other. So this angle will be equal to 90 degree. The radius and tangent both are perpendicular to each other. These concepts of the tangent belongs to the chapter circle. We are having a PDF of the formula and concept list. Check out the link in the description. Got it? Similarly, BC is given as the tangent and OC is the radius. So again, we will use the same philosophy. Radius and tangent both are perpendicular to each other. So this angle will be equal to 90 degree. These three angles are 90 degree. What is the fourth remaining angle of the quadrilateral? We will use the sum property of the quadrilateral. That is, sum of all the four angles of the quadrilateral is equal to 360 degree. Angle A plus angle O plus angle C plus angle B is equal to 360 degree. The three angles are 90 degree. Let's put it into the equation. We got angle B as also equal to 90 degree. All the four angles we got as equal to 90 degree. One part we have done, we have got all the angles as equal to 90 degree. Great. Let's move further. We got all the four angles is equal to 90 degree. It means it is either a square or a rectangle. Square in which all the four sides are equal, rectangle in which the opposite sides are equal. Square and rectangle both are a type of a parallelogram. It means the quadrilateral is a parallelogram. Parallelogram is a type of quadrilateral in which the opposite sides are parallel and equal and the opposite angles are also equal. Here the opposite angles are equal. So this quadrilateral is a parallelogram. And which type of parallelogram? Either a square or a rectangle. That we will just check it out. If you want to refresh the concept of the parallelogram, check out the link in the description. Especially we have a video to brush up the concept of the parallelogram. Check out the link in the description. Moving further, here it is given as OA and OC are the radius of the circle. So both will be equal to each other. And point B is an external point from which we are getting two tangents, the tangent BA and the tangent BC. And we know the property of a tangent. Tangent from an external point are equal to each other. B is the external point and from this external point we are having two tangents, BA and BC. So BA will be equal to BC. Both the tangents to a common circle will be equal to each other. These concepts of the tangent belong to the chapter circle. We are having a PDF of the formula and concept list. Check out the link in the description. Got it? Here we got the two radius are equal and BA and BC, the two tangents are equal to each other. And we know OABC is a parallelogram. In a parallelogram, the opposite sides are equal. It means OC and AB will be equal to each other. and OA and BC will be equal to each other. Opposite sides are equal, the adjacent sides are also equal, so we got all the four sides of this parallelogram are equal to each other. OA is equal to AB is equal to BC is equal to CO. All the four sides are equal to each other. So we got all the four angles are equal, which are equal to 90 degree, and all the four sides are equal. So this is a square. We have proved the quadrilateral OABC is a square. That is the answer of the question. Got it? So we have done with this question. Let's move to next question. So this is the next question. Observe the question and try to solve this question. This is slightly a tricky question, but it is easy but slightly tricky. You can pause the video and try to solve the question. It will be interesting. So let's approach the question. In this question, a semicircle of radius 1 unit it is given. This is a semicircle. This is the radius which is given as 1 unit. And we have to show that tan theta by 2 is equal to sin theta upon 1 plus cos theta. Okay, this is the question. So let's approach the question. Firstly, let's give the name to the various points as P, Q, R and O. O is the center of the circle. Here the trigonometric ratios that are coming into the picture are sin theta, cos theta and tan theta by 2. Do not worry about theta by 2. It is just the denotion of angle, half of the angle theta by 2. Nothing special. Basically here we have to find the value of sin theta, we have to find the value of cos theta and we have to find the value of tan theta by 2. Then we have to equate left hand side with the right hand side. So let's see how we can find the value of these trigonometric ratios. Let's denote RP as A and PO as B. Just for the simplicity we have done this. As we will apply the trigonometric ratio formula, it will be really helpful. Further, here this angle is given as angle theta and this is 90 degree. It means it is an right angle triangle. Right angle triangle means we can apply the trigonometric ratios formula. Here the side RO is the radius of the circle which is given as 1 unit. RO is the radius which is given as 1 unit. Further here RP is the perpendicular for this triangle which is the side opposite to trigonometric angle, and PO is the base of the triangle as it is the side between the trigonometric angle and 90 degree angle, and RO is the hypotenuse of this triangle which is given as 1 unit. You can check out the complete PDF of the formula and the concept list in the description, and also link to the complete series on the trigonometry. It will be really helpful. So let's proceed. Let's find sin theta and cos theta as demanded in the question. What is sin theta? Sin theta is perpendicular upon hypotenuse. Perpendicular is A and hypotenuse is 1. We got the value of sin theta as A. Okay. Further, let's find the value of cos theta. Cos theta, it is base upon hypotenuse. And base it is given as B, hypotenuse is given as 1. We got cos theta as B. We got the value of sin theta as A, we got the value of cos theta as B. Let's put it into the right hand side of the equation. Right hand side we got as A upon 1 plus B. So we got the right hand side. Let's work on the left hand side. Somehow the left hand side tan theta by 2 we have to prove it as equal to A upon 1 plus B. Let's see how we will do this. Firstly, we have to find the angle theta by 2. In the figure, where is this angle theta by 2? One angle it is given as theta, one angle it is given as 90 degree. But theta by 2 it is not given in the figure. Can we do some arrangement, some construction, some work so that we can get the angle theta by 2? This is a trick. You have to identify or do some construction work in which you will get the angle as theta by 2. Once you got the angle as theta by 2, we can simply apply the trigonometric ratio formula of tan theta by 2 around that angle and we will get the answer. Let's see. Firstly, let's identify the angle theta by 2. For that, let's join RQ. Are you able to observe this triangle, the triangle ROQ? This is a triangle, but this is not a right angle triangle. Okay. Here this angle is given as theta. So for this triangle ROQ, can we say this angle is an exterior angle? And we know the property of a triangle, the exterior angle property of a triangle. Exterior angle is equal to sum of the two opposite interior angle of the triangle. So angle theta will be equal to sum of these two angles. For simplicity, let's mark these two angles as angle 1 and 2. So we can say angle theta is equal to angle 1 plus angle 2. Got it? the exterior angle property of the triangle. I have told you some of the properties of the triangle you must know to solve the various different type of questions. Further, here can we say angle 1 and angle 2 both are equal to each other? Think why these two angles are equal. These two angles are equal because the side OR and OQ are equal to each other. These two sides are the radius of the circle. These two sides are equal, so the angle opposite to equal sides in a triangle are also equal. These two sides are equal, so these two angles are the opposite to these two equal sides. So these two angles will also be equal to each other. Angle 1 is equal to angle 2. And just now we have proved angle theta is equal to angle 1 plus angle 2. Let's replace angle 2 with angle 1. Angle theta is equal to twice of angle 1. So we got angle 1 is equal to theta by 2. Angle 1 we got at theta by 2, and angle 1 and angle 2 both are equal to each other. So both will be equal to theta by 2. Interesting, we got our angle theta by 2 that we are looking for. Tan theta by 2 on the left hand side that we have to find. Okay. So all this exercise, all this construction we have done just to get the angle theta by 2. This is interesting, totally a different type of question. So let's apply the trigonometric ratio formula to get tan theta by 2. But in which triangle we will apply tan theta by 2? This triangle is not a right angle triangle, but this big triangle is a right angle triangle. The triangle RPQ. This triangle is a right angle triangle in which angle theta by 2 is a trigonometric angle. So for this triangle, RP is the perpendicular and PQ is the base of this triangle. What is RP? It is A. And what is PQ? It is 1 plus B. OQ it is given as 1 unit, and PO it is B. So PQ will be equal to 1 plus B. And what is the formula of tan? It is perpendicular upon base. Tan theta by 2 is equal to perpendicular upon base, that is RP upon PQ, which is A upon 1 plus B. Left hand side we got as equal to A upon 1 plus B, and right hand side we have already got as A upon 1 plus B. So we got left hand side as equal to right hand side. That is the answer. Tricky question, totally a different type of question, a unique type of question, but very interesting question. Got it? So we have done with this question. Let's move to next question. So this is the question number 31. Pause the video, try to solve this question on your own. This question belongs to probability. So let's take down the question. In this question, Naima is playing a game with the two dice. She is having two dice. These are the two dice. The die is having 3 even number and 3 odd number. Yes, dice are having number 1 to 6. 1, 3 and 5 are the odd number. 2, 4 and 6 are the even number. Further, it is given she is playing the game in which she will get the prize if some of the conditions are matched. The conditions are given in two options, option 1 and option 2. In the option 1, if she gets the sum of the two numbers on the top of the die, she will roll the die and she will get some number on the top of the die. If the sum of the two number is odd, she will get the prize. If the sum of two number is even, she will not get the prize. For example, if she get the number as 1 and the number as 3, the sum is 4, that is an even, she will not get the prize. But if she get 1 in the first die and 2 in the second die, the addition is 3, she will get the prize. Got it? If the addition is odd, she will get the prize. If the addition is even, she will not get the prize. The second option is also given in which the product of the two number is talked about. That is, if the product of the two number after rolling the die, if the product is odd, then she will get the prize. If the product is even, she will not get the prize. For example, if she get number 2 and number 5, the product is 10, she will not get the prize. But if she get 1 and 3, the product is 3, that is an odd number, she will get the prize. Got it? In the option 1, it is the sum of the two numbers on the die. In the option 2, it is the product of the two numbers on the die. And the question framer is asking which option should Neema choose so that her chances of winning a prize is higher. It means we have to calculate the probability of option 1 and also the probability of option 2 and tell which probability is higher, whether the probability of option 1 is higher or the probability of option 2 is higher. Whichever the probability is higher, that option Neema will choose so that the chances of winning the game will be higher. Got it? So let's approach the question. In this question, we are having two dice and the output from a single die is number 1 to 6 and 1, 3 and 5 are the odd number. 2, 4 and 6 are the even number. Let's take the option 1. In this option, the sum of two numbers should be odd. So this is the output that we required. Before that, let's check out what are the various events can be formed out of addition of odd and the even number. Let's see. For example, if we get two odd numbers as an output in the rolling of the dice, then the addition it will be odd plus odd, it is even. For example, the outputs of the dice are 1 and 5. 1 plus 5, it is 6. So odd plus odd, it is even. Got it? If we get one odd and one even, for example, we got 1 and 2, addition 1 plus 2, it is 3, that is odd. So odd plus even is always odd. Got it? Further, even plus odd, even in the first case, odd in the second case, it is also odd. Odd plus even or even plus odd, it is odd. Further, even plus even, it is even. Like 2 and 4, 2 plus 4, it is 6, even plus even, it is 6. So these are the only 4 possibilities that are possible when we roll the die in case of addition of odd and even numbers. Okay? So we are getting total 4 outcomes. And what is our favorable outcome in which Niyama will win the game? It is odd. That is option number 2 and option number 3. If she get option number 2 and option number 3, she will win the game. If she get the option 1 or 4, she will lose the game. So let's calculate the probability. This is the formula of probability. In the denominator, the total outcome will come. And the total outcomes are 4 in number. These are the 4 outcomes. These 4 outcomes will come in the denominator. In the numerator, the favorable outcome will come. Option number 2 and option number 3 are only the favorable outcome. So number 2 will come in the numerator. 2 upon 4, the answer is 1 by 2. That is the probability of option 1. Got it? We have calculated the probability of option 1. Let's move to probability of option 2. In the option 2, the product of the two numbers have been talked about. Let's see. If she get two odd number, then what is the product? Like odd into odd, it will be odd number. For example, if she get number 3 and number 5, what is the product? 3 into 5, it is 15, which is an odd number. So odd into odd is always odd. And what is odd into even? It is always even. 1 into 2, it is 2, which is an even number. And what is even into odd? It is again even. Okay, odd into even, it is even into odd, it is even. And what is even into even? It is again even. Like 2 into 2, it is 4, 4 into 4, it is 16, 2 into 4, it is 8. Even into even, it is always even. So in this case, the only possibility of winning the game is option 1, that is odd into odd. If she get odds in both the dice, then only she will win the game. Okay, so let's calculate the probability. This is a formula. In the denominator, all the 4 outcomes will come. In the numerator, the favorable outcome will come, which is only 1. So the answer is 1 by 4. The probability of option 2 is 1 by 4. In the option 1, the probability is 1 by 2, and in the option 2, the probability is 1 by 4. 1 by 2, it is 0.5, that is 50%. 1 by 4, it is 0.25, that is 25%. Probability of option 1 is 50%, which is higher as compared to the probability of option 2, which is only 25%. So the answer is option 1. She should go with option 1 as it is having higher probability of winning the game. That is the answer of the question. Okay. So we have done with the section C. Let's move to section D. Let's move to the question number 32. This question is having a correction. It should be half hour less than the Manu. This question is incomplete. Put half in place of dash hours. It is half hours. So pause the video and try to solve this question. So let's approach this question. In this question, Manu and Aiza are competing a 60-kilometer cycle race. Here in this question, Manu and Aiza, two persons are given, Manu and Aiza, and they are competing a race, a cycle race. The total distance is given as 60 km. So for Manu also the distance is 60 km, and for Aiza also the distance is 60 km. Further, it is given the Aiza average speed is 10 km greater than Manu's average speed. Let's assume Manu's average speed as x km per hour. And what is the average speed of Aiza? It is 10 km per hour greater than the Manu's average speed. So Aiza's average speed will be equal to x plus 10. X is the average speed of Manu and it is 10 km per hour greater than the Manu speed. So it will be x plus 10. Further, it is given Aiza's finished the race in half hour less than the Manu. Obviously, the speed of Aiza is 10 km per hour greater than Manu. So she will finish the race faster as compared to Manu. And she has finished the race half hour before Manu's finishing the race. Let's assume the time taken by Manu as t. So what will be the time taken by Aiza? It will be t minus half. Half hour, so it will be t minus half, the time taken by Aiza. And in this question, we have to find the time taken by Manu to finish the race. It means we have to calculate t in this question, the value of t, the time taken by Manu to finish the race. So let's proceed. Here the formula of speed and distance will be used. Distance is equal to speed into time. This will be used. Firstly, let's see for the Manu case. Distance is given as 60 km, speed is x and time is t. Distance is equal to speed into time. So we can write x into t is equal to 60. X is the speed, t is the time and 60 km is the distance. Got it? Let's also use the same principle for Aiza case. Here distance is 60 km, speed is x plus 10 and time is t minus 1 by 2. So speed into time, it is distance. So let's put it x plus 10 into t minus 1 by 2 is equal to 60. Got it? In this equation, we have to find the value of t. So let's eliminate the value of x so that we can only focus on the value of t. Here x into t, it is 60 that we have just calculated. Can we get the value of x here? X we got as 60 upon t. Let's replace x with 60 upon t. Now we got a big equation and in this equation only variable is t. We will try to solve this equation. We will get the equation in the term of square. Again we will solve the equation to find the value of t. This equation is having only one variable, that is good. So let's solve this equation. Firstly, let's take the LCM as t in this part and LCM as 2 in this part. It will be 60 plus 10t upon t into 2t minus 1 upon 2. In the denominator, it will be 2 times t. Let's take it on the right hand side. On the right hand side, we got 60 into 2 times t, that is 120t. 60 into 2t, it is 120t. In the left hand side, 60 plus 10t, can we take 10 as common from this term? We got 10 into 6 plus t, rest terms will remain the same. Here 120 and 10, it will cancel out. Further, let's open the bracket. 6 plus t into 2t minus 1. Let's open the bracket. Firstly, let's multiply it with 6. It will be 12t minus 6 plus, let's multiply this term with t. It will be 2t square minus t. 12t and 12t will cancel out. So we got the equation as 2t square minus t minus 6 is equal to 0. This is an quadratic equation. Let's solve it. Here the product, it should be minus 12, that is minus 6 into 2, it is minus 12. And the sum, it should be minus 1. So we got the two number as minus 4 and plus 3. If we multiply minus 4 and plus 3, it will be minus 12 and minus 4 plus 3, the addition, it is minus 1. So we got our equation as 2t square minus 4t plus 3t minus 6 is equal to 0. Let's further solve it. Let's take the common term. We got 2t plus 3 into t minus 2 is equal to 0. We got 2t plus 3 is equal to 0 and t minus 2 is equal to 0. So we got two answers. First is t is equal to minus 3 by 2 and the second t is equal to 2. The time cannot be in negative, so let's cancel out minus 3 by 2. Only the applicable solution is t is equal to 2 hours. That is the answer of the question. Manu will take 2 hours to complete the race. That is the answer of the question. Got it? We have solved this question. So we have done with this question. Let's move to next question. So this is the question. Observe the question, pause the video and try to solve this question on your own. Let's solve this question. In this question, a cuboid is given which is filled with water. Basically, two different scenarios are given with two different orientations of the cuboid. In the first case, cuboid is standing with the water at a certain level. And in the second case, the cuboid has been laid down. The orientation of the cuboid has been changed. length, breadth and height of the cuboid are distinct. It means the L, B and H, the three sides of the cuboid, are not same, it is different. On the one side it is given as 5 centimeter, rest sides we do not know, but they are not same as given in the question. The volume of the water in the cuboid, it is 480 centimeter cubic. The height of the water in the orientation 2 is half of the height of the water in the orientation 1. Let's assume the height of the water in orientation 1 as h centimeter. Then the height of the water in the orientation 2, it will be h by 2. It is half of the height of the first case. Got it? H in the first case, h by 2 in the second case. And in this question, we have to find the height of the water in both the orientation, that is in both the cases. Firstly, we will calculate h, then we will calculate h by 2 just by dividing the value with 2. Okay? Basically, in this question, we have to calculate the value of h. Let's proceed. Here in the first cuboid, the cuboid in the orientation 1, this total height will be equal to h plus 4 centimeter, and this is the longest of all the three sides. This side and this side is matching, so this side will also be equal to h plus 4 centimeter. In the first case, the cuboid is standing. In the second case, the cuboid is laying down. Just we have changed the orientation, so this side is same. This is h plus 4, so this will also be equal to h plus 4. The volume of the water, it is given as 480 cubic meter. So can we calculate the volume of the water in the case 2? The volume of the water is in the form of a cuboid. This is a cuboid, that is the volume of water. And what is the formula of volume of a cuboid? It is length into breadth into height. That is the product of three sides. The three sides of this volume of the water, it is 5 centimeter, h plus 4 centimeter and h by 2 centimeter. So we can write 5 into h plus 4 into h by 2 is equal to 480. That is the equation we got. Only variable in this equation is h. Just we have to solve this equation to get the value of h. That will be the answer of the question. Got it? So let's solve it. Let's take 5 and 2 on the right hand side. We got h into h plus 4 is equal to 192. The simple mathematics. Let's open the bracket. Let's multiply h with h plus 4. It will be h square plus 4h is equal to 192. Let's take 192 on the left hand side. We got our quadratic equation as h square plus 4h minus 192 is equal to 0. We can simply apply the quadratic equation formula to solve this equation. But here we will use the middle term splitting technique, in which we will split the term 4h into two terms whose sum is equal to 4 and the product is equal to minus 192. Got it? The product should be minus 192 and the addition should be plus 4. Let's do it. 192 is a big number. We have to do the prime factorization of this number. It will be 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 3. The simple prime factorization we have done, you can do using the method. It will be the same output. Here we have to identify two numbers whose product should be minus 192 and the addition should be plus 4. That number will be 16 and minus 12. 2 into 2 into 2 into 2, it will be 16, and 2 into 2 into 3, it is 12. 16 minus 12, it is 4, and 16 into minus 12, it is 192. You can use the hit and trial method. You can take the different combination and you can try out. The numbers will be 16 and minus 12. So we got our equation as h square plus 16h minus 12h minus 192 is equal to 0. Let's take h as common in the first two term and minus 12 as common in third and fourth term. We got h minus 12 into h plus 16 is equal to 0. That is h minus 12 is equal to 0 and h plus 16 is equal to 0. We got h as 12 centimeter and h as minus 16 centimeter. Height cannot be in negative, so we will not take h is equal to minus 16. We will take h is equal to 12. So in the first orientation, the height of the water is 12 centimeter. That is the one part of the answer. In the second part, what will be the height of the water in the second case? It will be h by 2. That is 12 by 2, which is 6 centimeter. So we got the answer. In the first case, the height of the water is 12 centimeter. In the second case, the height of the water is 6 centimeter. That is the answer of the question. Got it? We have done with this question. So we have done with this question. Let's move to next question. Let's approach the question number 34. Pause the video and try to solve this question on your own. So this is the question. In this question, two rectangular sheets are given of the dimension 45 centimeter into 155 centimeter. These two sheets are basically the same sheets. These two sheets are folded to form a hollow cylinder. First sheet is folded along the length and the second sheet is folded along the width. First sheet is folded along the length, that is, it is folded along the length of 155 centimeter, and the second sheet is folded along the width, that is given as 45 centimeter, and they are folded and pasted, and in pasting the sheets 1 centimeter has been used. Like we have folded the sheet and we have formed the cylinder. While pasting the end of the sheet, 1 centimeter has been used for gluing the sheet. So 1 centimeter has been wasted. And in this question, the first part we have to find the difference in the surface area. In the second part, we have to find the ratios of the volume. Let's see how we approach this question. Let's take the first sheet. In the first sheet, it has been rolled along the length of 155 centimeter. 1 centimeter has been wasted in gluing. So the total used length is only 154 centimeter. 1 centimeter has been used in overlapping and it has been wasted. Only 154 centimeter will be visible in this cylinder. So we can say this circular portion is equal to 154 centimeter. Are you getting this? This is important. 1 centimeter has been wasted in the overlapping. Only visible portion of this cylinder is 154 centimeter. That is basically the circumference of the circle. And what is the height of the cylinder? It is 45 centimeter. Let's give the height of the cylinder name as h1 and the radius of the cylinder as r1. Can we say this circumference is equal to 2 pi r1 equal to 154? R1 is the radius of the cylinder, the circular portion, and 2 pi r is the formula of the circumference. So we can write 2 pi r1 as equal to 154. It is not 155, 1 centimeter has been wasted. Got it? We can calculate the radius from this equation as r1 is equal to 154 upon 2 pi. No need to solve this equation, just take r1 as 154 upon 2 pi. Rest we will see later on. Let's go to the case 2, the case of the sheet number 2, where we have folded the sheet along the breadth of 45 centimeter. Got it? Here also the 1 centimeter will be used in overlapping, gluing and other stuff. So 1 centimeter will be wasted out of the total 45 centimeter. Only the visible portion will be 44 centimeter. This circumference will be 44 centimeter. The height of the cylinder is 155 centimeter. Let's give the name to height as h2 and radius as r2. Here the circumference is 44 centimeter. We can write it as 2 pi r2 is equal to 44 centimeter. The circumference formula we have used. Further, we got r2 as 44 upon 2 pi. Again, we are not solving for the actual radius. Just r2, the radius of the cylinder, we got as 44 upon 2 pi. So we got the height of both the cylinder and also the radius of both the cylinder. And in the first part, we have to find the difference in the curved surface area of both the cylinder. What is the curved surface area? This portion is the curved surface area. We are not calculating the area of the two ends of the cylinder, only the curved portion of the cylinder we are calculating. That is the curved surface area. And what is the formula of curved surface area? It is 2 pi r into h. The curved surface area for first cylinder, it will be 2 pi r1 h1. R1 is the radius and h1 is the height of the first cylinder. And in the first part, what is 2 pi r? It is 154 centimeter. 2 pi r is the circumference, which is given as 154 centimeter. Let's put it into the formula. Here height is 45. On solving, we got the surface area of first cylinder as 6930. Simple calculation. Further, let's take the case 2, the cylinder 2. Here also we will use the curved surface area formula 2 pi r2 into h2. R2 and h2 are the radius and the height of second cylinder respectively. 2 pi r2 will be equal to 44 centimeter and h2 it is 155 centimeter. We got the curved surface area of the second cylinder as 6820 centimeter square. And in the first part, we have to find the difference in the curved surface area. Let's do it. 6930 minus 6820. It will comes out to be 110 centimeter square. That is the answer of the question, the difference in the curved surface area. Got it? Simple one. Let's go to the second part. In this part, we have to calculate the ratio of the volume of both the cylinder. Okay, let's do it. What is the volume of cylinder? What is the formula? It is pi r square into h. So let's take the ratios of the volume. Volume of cylinder 1, it will be pi r1 square h1, and volume of second cylinder, it will be pi r2 square into h2. Simple, we have just put the formula in the ratios form. Let's put radius 1 as 154 upon 2 pi and radius 2 as 44 upon 2 pi, h1 as 45 and h2 as 155. Got it? The radius we have calculated in the initial part of the question, r1 and r2. The reason we have not solved for radius, you will understand it here. Here pi and pi will cancel out. Here 2 pi square and 2 pi square will cancel out. We got 154 into 154 into 45 upon 44 into 44 into 155. On solving, we got the answer as 441 upon 124. I am not going into the detail of the solving, but you can solve it. You can cancel out with 2s, 3s and 11s. It will cancel out. We got the answer as 441 upon 124. That is the ratios of the volume of both the cylinders. Volume 1 upon volume 2. That is the answer of the question. Got it? The trickier part in this question is to understand that 1 centimeter overlapping of the paper has been wasted, like 1 centimeter is wasted in both the part. In the first part, 1 centimeter is wasted along the length part. In the second, 1 centimeter has been wasted in the breadth. So we have done with this question. Let's move to next question. So this is the question. Observe the question and try to solve this question on your own. Let's approach the question. In this question, a cubical container is given. And what is the property of a cube? All the three sides of a cube are equal. That is a property of a cube. So all the three sides of this cubical container will be equal to each other. Further, a cylindrical cane is given which is placed inside this cubical container. The question is having two parts. In the first part, we have to calculate how many canes we can place in this container. Okay. The dimension of the cylindrical cane is given as p centimeter as the height. The diameter of the cylinder is p by 2. Let's see how many canes we can place in this container. If you check out the side of the cube, it is given as p plus p, that is 2p. All the sides of this cube will be equal to 2p. This side will also be equal to 2p. So how many canes we can place along the length? We can place total 4 canes. The diameter of the cylinder is p by 2. So along the length we can place total 4 canes. P by 2 is the diameter. Total length of one side of the cube, it is 2p. So p by 2 plus p by 2 plus p by 2 plus p by 2, we can put total 4 canes. Total length, it will be 2p. Similarly, in this direction also, we can place total 4 canes. This distance is 2p. Again, 4 canes can come in this direction. So on the base, we can have 4 into 4, total 16 canes. Again, the height of the cube, it will be 2p. And along the height, we can place only 2 canes. Why? Because height of one cane, it is p centimeter. Height of the cube, it is 2p, that is twice of p. So we can place only 2 canes along the height. Along the length and width, we can have 4 and 4 canes. Along the height, we can have total 2 canes. So in totality, we can put 4 into 4 into 2, that is total 32 canes in this cubical container. That is the answer of part 1. Got it? The simple logic we have applied. Further, let's go to part 2. In the part 2, it is given the capacity of the cane is given as 539 milliliter, and we have to find the internal volume of the cubical container. Okay, let's see. The volume of the cane, it is given as 539 milliliter, and the shape of the cane, it is given as cylindrical. So that is the volume of cylinder is given. Volume of one cane, volume of cylinder, it is given as 539 milliliter. And what is the formula of volume of a cylinder? It is pi r square h. And what is the radius of the cylindrical cane? It is p by 4. The diameter, it is p by 2. The radius, it will be p by 4. So here radius is equal to p by 4 and height of the cylinder, it is p centimeter. So let's put it into the formula. Pi r square h, it is 539. Let's solve for p. P cube will be equal to 539 into 7 into 16 upon 22. For the time being, we are not solving for the value of p. When it is required, we will solve it. Okay. Further, we have to find the volume of the cuboid. And what is the volume of cube? It is a cube, that is cube of the side. Let's see what is the side of the cuboid. It is given as 2p. So the volume of the cube, it will be 2p whole cube, which is 8p cube. Let's put the value of p cube that we have just got from the previous equation. Here 22 and 16, it will cancel out with 2, and 11 with 539, it will be 49. On solving, we got the answer as 21,952 centimeter cube. That is the answer of this question. Got it? We have done with this question. So we have done with the section D. Let's move to section E. Let's move to question number 36. So this is the question. You can pause the video and try to solve this question on your own. In this question, an interior designer, Sana, has hired two painters, Manan and Bhima. Manan and Bhima will make the paintings for Sana, and they will make 50 different paintings. It means Manan will make 50 paintings and Bhima will make 50 paintings separately. Further, it is given Manan asked for rupees 6,000 for the first painting, while Bhima asked for rupees 4,000 for the first painting. And Manan had asked for an increment of rupees 200 for each following painting, while Bhima has asked for the increment of rupees 400 for each of the following painting. It means that Manan will take rupees 6,000 for the first painting, and as the number of painting will increase, he will take rupees 200 as an increment. For the first painting it is 6,000, for the second painting it will be 6,200, for the third painting it will be 6,400. And subsequently the addition of 200 like 6,600, 6,800, 7,000, it will go on till the last painting, that is the 50th painting. Similarly, for the Bhima case also, the price of the first painting he will take is rupees 4,000, and for creation of each additional painting, rupees 400 will be an increment. First painting 4,000, second painting 4,400, increment of 400, then 4,800, then 5,200, 5,600. Similarly, the price of painting will increase. Note that in case of Manan, the difference is rupees 200, while in the case of Bhima, the difference is 400. Further, are you able to observe an arithmetic progression series in both the cases? Like in the case of Manan, the arithmetic progression series formed is 6,000, 6,200, 6,400. In this series, the difference is 200. So this is an arithmetic progression series or AP series with a difference of rupees 200. Similarly, in case of Bhima, it is also an arithmetic progression series with a difference of 400. So basically, these are the two arithmetic progression on which the various question is asked. Let's take one by one the questions. Let's go to the first part. The first part is how much money did Manan get for his 25th painting? Manan has created total 50 painting and we have to calculate how much money Manan has got for the 25th painting. So here this is the arithmetic series and we have to calculate the 25th term of this arithmetic progression series. So which formula will be used? It will be a plus n minus 1 d. This formula will be used to solve this question. Here a is the first term, n is the nth term which we have to calculate. Here it is the 25th term that we have to calculate, and d is the difference. And difference in this case is 200 and the first term is 6,000. So let's calculate the 25th term. Let's put the value a as 6,000, n as 25 and d as 200. On solving, we got the answer as 10,800. So Manan will get 10,800 rupees for the 25th painting. Got it? For the first painting, Manan is getting only rupees 6,000. But as the increment is adding and adding, for the 25th painting, Manan will get 10,800 rupees. Got it? That is the answer for the first part. Let's move to second part. Part 2 is how much money did Bhima get in all? It means what is the total amount of money that the Bhima will get. For the first painting, Bhima is getting 4,000. For the second painting, 4,400. For the third painting, 4,800. Next, 5,200. Next, 5,600. Up to the 50th painting, he will get the money. And we have to tell in totality how much money the Bhima will get. It means we have to do the sum of the arithmetic progression. The complete series, we have to do the sum. That is, we have to add all the terms. So which formula will be used? The formula of the sum of the arithmetic progression series will be used, which is this formula. In this formula, S is the sum and N is the total number of terms up to which we have to calculate the addition. A is the first term, again n, and D is the difference. So here the first term is 4000 and it will be 50 and the difference it is rupees 400. Let's put all the terms. On solving, we got the addition as 6,90,000 rupees. It means Bhima will get in totality rupees 6,90,000 rupees for 50 painting. A good amount he will get. Okay. So we have done with the part 2. In the first part we have used this formula. In the second part we have used this formula. Let's go to part 3. In the part 3 it is asked if both Manan and Bhima make paintings at the same pace. Find the first painting for which Bhima will get more money than Manan. For the first painting, Manan has asked for rupees 6,000 while Bhima has asked for rupees 4,000. The money asked by the Manan is more as compared to the Bhima, but Manan has asked for rupees 200 increment for each painting while Bhima has asked for rupees 400 for each painting. So the increment of the Bhima will be more as compared to Manan. After some time we'll reach a point when Bhima will get the same amount of money as Manan. Are you getting this? Why? The increment of Bhima is rupees 400 which is more as compared to Manan. Initially Manan is getting rupees 6,000 and Bhima is getting rupees 4,000 for the painting. But as we are adding the increment, we will reach a point where the Bhima and Manan will get the same amount of money for their painting. After that, for the next painting, Bhima will get more amount of money than Manan, as the increment of Bhima is more as compared to Manan. Let's mark the painting as N, where the Manan and Bhima will get the same amount of money. And we have to calculate the first painting when Bhima will get more money than Manan. Firstly, we will calculate the painting at which the price of the Manan will be equal to price of the Bhima. So let's do so. And what is the formula of finding the n net term? The formula is a plus n minus 1d. A is the first term and d is the difference and n is the n net term. For segregation, let's mark the first term of Manan as A1 while the first term of Bhima as A2. The difference in the case of Manan as D1 and difference in case of Bhima as D2. Okay. So in the case of Manan it will be A1 plus n minus 1 D1 and in case of Bhima it will be A2 plus n minus 1 D2. A1 for Manan, A2 for Bhima, D1 for Manan and D2 for Bhima. N is same in both the cases because we are finding the common term in which both terms will be equal to each other. Let's put A1 as 6,000, D1 as 200, A2 as 4,000 and D2 as 400. Let's solve it. On solving, we got N as 11. It means the 11th term in case of Manan and the 11th term in case of Bhima will be equal to each other. You can extend the arithmetic progression up to the 11th term just for cross-checking. Here at the 11th painting, both Manan and Bhima will get same amount of money. Got it? At the 11th painting, both will get the same amount of money. After that, Bhima increment is more, so Bhima will start getting more money as compared to Manan. So our answer is 12th. At the 12th painting, Bhima will get more money as compared to Manan. That is the answer of this question. Got it? Let's move to next part. Sana's friend Arti hired Manan and Bhima for making the paintings. Further, it is given both the painter had made the same number of paintings and in totality both get the same amount of money. Got it? Both the painter has made same amount of painting. In the previous question, the number of paintings are 50, but here the number of paintings are not given. Both the painters had made the same painting and they get exactly the same amount of money. The charges are same, that is for the first painting Manan is getting rupees 6,000 while Bhima is getting rupees 4,000. Increment in case of Manan is rupees 200, increment in case of Bhima is rupees 400. The price condition is same. Got it? And we have to calculate how much painting both had made. So let's proceed. Here in the question it is given both get exact amount of money. That is, if we add all the amount for each painting for the Manan, the addition of all the money, it will be equal to addition of all the money in case of Bhima. In the question the hint is given the total money that Manan will get is equal to the total money the Bhima will get. It means the sum of the arithmetic progression series of Manan, it will be equal to the sum of the arithmetic progression series for Bhima. both are getting same amount of money. It means if we add all the amount of money that they get for each painting, the total will be equal to each other. So what is the formula of sum of arithmetic progression series? This is the formula. And addition of both the series will be equal to each other. For the Manan case, let's give the first term as A1. For Bhima, it is A2. The difference in case of Manan, it is D1. Difference in case of Bhima, it is D2. And we have to find the nth term. Let's equate both the equations or both the formulas. Here n by 2 and n by 2 will cancel out. Let's put the value of A1, A2, D1 and D2. Let's solve for n. We got n as 21. So the answer is 21. So both Manan and Bhima has completed 21 paintings. 21 paintings by Manan and 21 paintings by Bhima. That is the answer of the question. So we have done with this question. Let's move to next question. So this is the question. Pause the video and try to solve this question on your own. This question belongs to the coordinate geometry. Pause the video. So let's try to solve this question. This question is talking about a game of archery and the target board is given in the figure. This is the target board which is divided into 4 different zones. Each zone is having different point. If the arrow strikes in the center zone, the player will get 30 point. If the arrow strikes in this zone, the player will get 20 point. If the arrow strikes in this zone, 10 point, and if in this zone, the player will get 5 point. And this is the distribution of the various points. The board is in the circular form and the targets are also in the circular form. Further, it is also given if the arrow lands on the boundary, the inner section points are awarded. For example, if the arrow lands on this boundary, then the player will get 30 point, the point of the inner zone. Similarly, if the arrow lands on this boundary, how much points the player will get? The player will get 10 points, points of the inner zone of the boundary. Got it? This will be used in the question. Before taking down the questions, let's understand these questions with respect to the coordinate geometry point of view. Here this is x-axis and this is y-axis, and these concentric circles are at a distance of 1 unit apart. That is, the distance between all these concentric circles is 1 unit. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. So all these boundaries lies on the point 1, 2, 3, 4. In the negative x, it is -1, -2, -3, -4. Similarly, in the y direction, +y and -y. The distance between the concentric circles are 1 unit. Got it? Further, it is given in the circular manner. We can take this circle and we can say the radius of this circle is 1 unit. If we talk about this circle, we can say the radius of this circle is 2 units. Similarly, for this circle, the radius is 3 units. For the bigger one, the radius is 4 units. Further, point O is the origin of this coordinate system, which we will mark as 0, 0. All the other points will be with respect to the origin point, that is 0, 0. For example, what will be this point? This will be 1, 0. The x coordinate is 1 and the y coordinate is 0. What will be this point? This will be 0, 2. Got it? Just the simple coordinate system we have applied. This is the coordinate system with the 0 as the center of this board. So based on this philosophy, based on this coordinate plane, we will solve this question. So this is given part. Let's take down the first part of the question. In the first part, it is given after shooting 2 arrows, Rohan scored 25 points. So after shooting 2 arrows, Rohan is getting 25 points. It means the first point may have landed at the 5-point zone and the second arrow may have landed on the 20-point zone, or 20 or 5 in the reverse order, anything. Just one arrow landed on the 5 and the second arrow landed on the 20-point zone. These are the two zones. Further, the question is asking, write one set of coordinate for each arrow that landed on the target. Very simple, just we have to tell the coordinate of the arrow. Firstly, let's take the 20-point zone. This is a 20-point zone. For example, arrow has landed at the center point. This point is between 1 and 2. For example, let's say it is 1.5. From 0, this distance is 1.5. And y coordinate, it is 0. So we will say the x coordinate of this point is 1.5 unit and the y coordinate is 0. So its coordinate, it will be 1.5, 0. Just the example we have taken, the arrow may have landed anywhere on this zone. Just we have to tell any of the one coordinate of this zone. We have taken this coordinate. Just for the simplicity, we have taken x as positive and y as 0. You can take the point here, here, in the negative zone, anywhere you like, just you have to tell the coordinate. We have taken the coordinate as 1.5, 0. The first arrow, let's assume the second arrow landed at the 5-point zone, and specifically at this point, at the center point of point 3 and 4. Just for simplicity, let's take this point as 3.5 units with respect to 0. So its x coordinate, it will be 3.5, and y coordinate, it is 0. So we got the coordinate of this point as 3.5, 0. You can take anything, 3.2, 3.4, 3.7, anything, whatever you like, but that coordinate should be in this zone. So we have done with the part 1. Let's move to part 2. In the second part, it has been asked, if one arrow lands at the point 2, 2.5, how many points will be awarded to that player? Firstly, let's locate where is the point 2, 2.5. The x coordinate is 2 and the y coordinate is 2.5. If we draw a straight line, it is slightly confusing whether this point is in the 10-point zone or in the 5-point zone or on the boundary. By looking at the figure, we cannot exactly tell in which zone the arrow is landing. So basically, we have to calculate the distance with respect to the origin. If the distance is 3 or less than 3, then it is in the 10-point zone. The radius of this zone is 3 units. If the distance is 3 or less than 3, then we can say it is in the 10-point zone. If the distance is greater than 3 units, then we can say it is in the 5-point zone. Got it? Basically, we have to use a distance formula with respect to the origin and find the distance. Got the approach? Let's solve this question. Here the origin point, it is 0, 0, and this point is 2, 2.5. Let's take any of the one point as x1, y1 and the other point as x2, y2. You can interchange the point, you can take anything as x1, x2, y1, y2, it does not matter. The solution will be same. The same we have discussed in the theory part. If you want to revise, you can check out the link for the complete playlist in the description. Moving further, let's put the value. On solving, we got the distance as root of 10.25. It means it is slightly above 3 units. 3 square, it is 9, and it is root of 10. It means it is above 3. If you use a calculator, it will be something around 3.2. But we will not go into that. We just got that this distance is slightly above 3 unit or more than 3 unit. So it lies in the 5-point zone. That is the answer. The player will get 5 points. We have done with the part 2. Let's move to part 3. In the part 3, it is given Rohan the player, Rohan shoot the arrow, and the arrow landed on the point 1.2, 1.6. The x coordinate is 1.2, the y coordinate is 1.6, so the arrow strikes at this coordinate. Further, it is given Rohan will shoot the second arrow, and also a condition is given, that is the second arrow to land on a line joining the origin and the first arrow such that he gets 10 points for it. Let's understand this statement. For that, let's join the origin with the point of the first arrow and also extend this line. The condition is that the second arrow should land on this line, and also it should land in the 10-point zone. It means the second arrow should land on this portion of the line segment. If the arrow lands on this portion of the line segment, that is the line segment joining the origin and the point of the first arrow and also the 10-point zone, then the condition is matching. So we have to find any of the coordinate on this portion of the line segment. Also, one thing that you should understand is that if the arrow strike on this boundary, then the point considered is 10 point. So this line extends up to the boundary. So we have to find the coordinate on this line segment including the point on the boundary. So you can take any point on this line segment anywhere starting from the boundary to the end point. For simplicity, we will find the point on the boundary, but you can take the point anywhere on this line segment. Let's denote this point as a comma b. Let's take the complete setup out of the figure just for simplicity. Here O is the origin, which is 0, 0. This point is 1.2, 1.6, and this is a comma b. Let's mark the point as a, b, and O. O is the center which is given. We have marked the point as a and b. Are you able to compare this figure with the figure of the section formula? This is the figure of the section formula. You can go to the description and download the complete list of formula and the concept list related to coordinate geometry. Check out the link in the description. Further, we can compare this with the section formula. Let's mark this point as x1, y1, this is x2, y2, and this is x, y. Here x, y it is given, x1, y1 it is also given. We have to find x2, y2. But before that, we should know m1 and m2, that is the distance OB and the distance AB. These two distance we should know. We can easily calculate the distance OB using the distance formula, and the distance between the point A and B, it is 1 unit. If you observe the main figure, the radius of this circle is 2 unit and the radius of this circle is 3 unit, and the distance between these two circles is 1 unit. So we can say the distance AB is 1 unit. Got it? Further, let's find the distance OB, that we can find using the distance formula. Right, we can directly apply the distance formula. You can assume any point as x1, y1 and any point as x2, y2 just for calculation of the distance. Let's put the value. Let's solve it. On solving, we got the distance as root of 4, that is 2 units. We got OB 2 unit and AB as 1 unit. Further, let's use the section formula to find the missing dimension. Firstly, let's take the formula of the x coordinate. Here x coordinate, here x it is 1.2. Let's simply apply the formula. We got the value of A as 1.8, which is the x coordinate of the point that we are finding in this question. Similarly, let's go for the y coordinate. This is the y coordinate of the section formula. Let's put the value. On solving, we got the value of B as 2.4. That is the y coordinate. So we got the coordinate or the answer as 1.8, 2.4. This is the answer of this part. Got it? Simply we have used the section formula and we have also used the distance formula to solve this question. Rest, it is all about your imagination, how you imagine the question. Mathematics is not about the formulas. Mathematics is all about your imagination. The formulas are very simple. If you are able to imagine the question, you can easily solve the question. If you want to practice more questions, go to the link in the description related to the coordinate geometry. You will find questions related to the coordinate geometry. Got it? We are taking slightly extra time to solve the question because we are also refreshing the concept. Refreshing the concept with the questions is very must, and it will be really helpful to you. Okay, so just pay some extra time. It will be helpful in the mid of the examination. Let's move to the next part of the question. It is given an arrow landed on the boundary and it worth 20 points. It means the arrow has landed on this boundary. On this boundary, the point awarded is 20 points. The coordinate of the landing point is given as m, minus m. And we have to find the coordinate of this point. Here x and y coordinate are basically same. One is in the positive and one is in the negative. M and m it is same, plus m and minus m. Let's solve it. We know the distance between this point and the origin, it is 2 unit. The radius of this circle is 2 unit. Any point on this circle, it will be at a distance of 2 unit from the center. So we know the distance. We can apply the distance formula. Let's assume this point as x1, y1 and this point as x2, y2. Let's apply the distance formula. Let's put the value. We got root of 2m square is equal to 2. Let's square both sides. We got 2m square is equal to 4. Further, we got m square is equal to 2. So we got the value of m as plus root 2 and minus root 2. We got two values of m. Let's find the coordinate. Let's put it into our coordinate, which is m, minus m. So we got two answers. First is root 2, minus root 2, and the second is minus root 2, root 2. So these are the two answers. It means the point is in this quadrant and also in this quadrant. These 2 points are satisfying our condition. So these two are the answer of this question. Got it? We have done with this question. So we have done with this question. Let's move to next question. Let's move to question number 38. This is the question. Pause the video and try to observe the question and solve the question on your own. So let's approach this question. In this question, a drone is given and David is controlling the drone through his jeep. The maximum height of the drone, it is 100 meter. The range up to which the drone can go in the vertical direction, it is given as 100 meter. And this drone is directly above the David's jeep and he is entering the jungle. Also the speed of the jeep, it is given as 10 meter per second, the average speed of the jeep that will be used. And as he moves inside the jungle, he will observe the various things and various trigonometric angles and trigonometric triangles will be formed and we will solve various questions. Okay, let's take down the first part. In this part, a tree is given and drone has stopped at one of the location. The horizontal distance between the drone and the top of the tree, it is given as 5 root 3 meters as shown in the figure. The angle of elevation from the top of the tree to the drone, it is given as 30 degree. Angle of elevation when we are looking upward, and this angle is with respect to the horizontal line. So this angle is the angle of elevation which is 30 degree. Further it is given David stopped this drone at a vertical distance of 65 meter below its maximum vertical range. And what is the maximum vertical range of the drone? It is given as 100 meter. So David has stopped his drone 65 meter from the top part. That is from the 100 part. This distance is 65 meter. So what will be this distance? It will be 100 minus 65, that is 35 meter. And in this question, we have to find the height of the tree. That is this distance we have to find. Okay. Are you able to observe a right angle triangle in this question? In this right angle triangle, we will apply the trigonometric ratio formula and we will find this distance. This distance we know as 35 meter. This distance we will calculate using the trigonometric ratio. We will use a subtraction and we will find this distance which is the height of the tree. This approach we will use. Firstly, we will go step by step, the steps that we have discussed in the theory part. First step we have done, that is we have observed a right angle triangle in the given scenario. Let's take this triangle out of the figure and let's give the name to the triangle as triangle ABC just for the simplicity. The next step, we will identify the trigonometric angle for this triangle. So here this angle is the trigonometric angle for this triangle, and with respect to this angle we will identify the various trigonometric sides. Firstly, perpendicular. Perpendicular is a side which is opposite to trigonometric angle. So this side is the perpendicular. And base. Base is the side which is between the 90 degree angle and the trigonometric angle. So this side is the base for this triangle. And the base of this triangle, we know it is given as 5 root 3 meters. And what is the relation between the perpendicular and base? It is tan theta. Tan theta is equal to perpendicular upon base. Perpendicular we have to find, base it is given as 5 root 3, angle theta it is given as 30 degree. And what is the value of tan 30 degree? It is 1 upon root 3. You should know the value of tan 30 degree, tan 45 degree and tan 60 degree. 90% of the time these three values will be used. So you should memorize them. Tan 30 degree it is 1 upon root 3, tan 45 it is 1, tan 60 it is root 3. These three values you must know. So on solving we got the perpendicular as 5 meter. Let's find the height of the tree. This total distance we have calculated as 35 meter. This is 5 meter. So this distance, that is the height of the tree, will be equal to 30 meters. That is the answer of this part. Got it? 30 meter we got the height of the tree. Let's move to second part of the question. In this, the drone is flying at a height of 30 root 3 meters at a constant speed in a horizontal direction, and it spotted a zebra right below the drone. So the zebra is just below the drone and the drone is flying at a height of 30 root 3 meters. After that, the drone has started moving in the horizontal direction. It has started moving in the forward direction. After 30 meter, the drone has again observed the zebra. Now the zebra is not under the drone. It is at a horizontal distance of 30 meter. The angle of depression is formed, that is theta. Angle of depression when we are looking downward. Note that this angle is with respect to the horizontal line. Do not do the mistake of taking this angle theta with respect to the vertical line, the common mistake done by the student. Angle of elevation and angle of depression both are with respect to the horizontal line. Note this is important. So this is angle theta, the angle of depression. And in this part, we have to find angle theta, that is angle of depression. We will go step by step. First of all, we will identify a right angle triangle. Are you able to observe this right angle triangle in this scenario? Let's take this triangle out of the figure and let's give the name to the triangle as triangle ABC just for the simplicity. The next step, we will identify the trigonometric angle for this triangle. And this angle, angle theta, is a trigonometric angle for this triangle. Next step, we will identify the trigonometric side. Firstly, perpendicular. Perpendicular is a side which is opposite to trigonometric angle. Angle theta is a trigonometric angle. So this side is perpendicular, which is given as 30 root 3 meters. Further, the side base. Base is the side between the 90-degree angle and the trigonometric angle. So this side is the base, which is given as 30 meters. We know the perpendicular, we know the base. What is the relation between the perpendicular and base? It is again tan theta. Tan theta is equal to perpendicular upon base. Let's put perpendicular as 30 root 3, base as 30. We got tan theta as root 3. So for which angle of tan the value is root 3? It is 60 degree. Tan 60 degree, we know it is root 3. So we got the angle of depression in the second part as 60 degree, which is the answer of this part. Got it? We got the angle of depression as 60 degree. Further, let's move to the part 3. In the part 3, a scenario is given after the 2 minutes of starting of the expedition. The location of the drone and the location of the jeep is shown in the figure. The drone has moved ahead of the jeep, that is the drone is moving faster as compared to the jeep. Do you remember in the starting it is given before entering the jungle, the location of the drone is just above the jeep. Now after 2 minutes of the expedition, that is after entering 2 minutes into the jungle, the drone has moved forward as compared to the jeep. It means the velocity or the speed of the drone is higher as compared to the jeep. And we have to calculate the speed of the drone in this question. Basically, we can form two scenarios. In the first scenario, the drone is just above the jeep. And the second scenario, which is given in the question, that is after the 2 minutes of starting the expedition, the drone has moved forward the jeep. So these are the two scenarios and we have to calculate the speed of the drone. Okay. Do not worry about the speed. Why we are having the speed in the trigonometry? Speed and distance are related using the formula speed is equal to distance upon time. Whenever the question framer is asking for the speed, there the time will be given. Like here, time is given as 2 minutes. Time is given, we have to calculate the speed. Only the missing component will be the distance. And how we calculate the distance? We calculate the distance using the trigonometry. So basically the question framer wants us to find the distance using the trigonometry and just go one step ahead and find the speed using the formula speed is equal to distance upon time. So do not worry about how to find the speed, just you have to find the distance using the trigonometry. That is the actual question. So let's approach this question. The height of the drone, it is given as 50 root 3 meter as shown in the figure. Also the angle, it is given as 60 degree. The angle of elevation, it is given as 60 degree. Here this is a triangle. For this triangle, this side will be the perpendicular, the side opposite to trigonometric angle. 50 root 3 meter is the perpendicular. And this side is the base for this triangle. Base is the side between the 90-degree angle and the trigonometric angle. So again, let's apply tan theta, which is perpendicular upon base. So tan 60 degree will be equal to 50 root 3 upon base. Base we will calculate. And what is the value of tan 60 degree? It is root 3. So we got base of this triangle as 50 meters. Got it? This dimension, the horizontal distance between the jeep and the drone, we got as 50 meters. Further in this part, it is given after 2 minutes of starting the expedition. It means the jeep and the drone both have traveled for 2 minutes. And in the starting, the average speed of the jeep, it is given as 10 meters per second. We can use the formula distance is equal to speed into time. Speed we know it is 10 meters per second. Time we know it is 2 minutes. In seconds it will be 120 seconds. So the total distance traveled by the jeep, it will be 10 into 120, that is 1200 meters. So the jeep has basically traveled 1200 meters after starting of the expedition. And just now we have calculated the distance, the horizontal distance between the jeep and the drone as 50 meters. So how much the distance the drone has traveled after starting of the expedition? The drone has traveled 1200 plus 50. This is the total distance. So 1250 meters the drone has traveled. The total distance traveled by the jeep, it is 1200 meters in 2 minutes. And the total distance traveled by the drone in 2 minutes, it is 1250 meters. We got the distance traveled by the drone, and the time of 2 minutes or 120 seconds is also given in the question. The time taken by the drone to move from the starting to the end point. We have to calculate the speed. Speed is equal to distance upon time. Distance it is 1250, time it is 120 seconds. On solving, we got the speed of the drone as 10.42 meter per second. That is the answer. The speed of the jeep is 10 meter per second. The speed of the drone is 10.42 meter per second. The speed of the drone is higher as compared to the jeep. That's why it has crossed 50 meter extra as compared to the jeep. Got it? That is the answer of this part. Let's move to the next part. In the next part, the drone has captured a tiger and the angle it is given as 30 degree. After 3 seconds, the tiger has moved forward. Now the angle has been changed to 45 degree. The height of the drone it is given in the figure as 54 root 3 meter. And the duration between the two cases it is given as 3 seconds, and we have to find the average speed of the tiger. This question is having a small mistake. The mistake is related to the angle of depression. In the question it is given the angle of depression are 30 degree and 45 degree. But note that as we have also discussed in the theory part, angle of depression and angle of elevation are with respect to the horizontal line. But here in the figure, the angle of depression 30 degree and 45 degree are given with respect to the vertical line. So here these two angles are not the angle of depression. These angles will be the angle of depression, as the angle of depressions are always with respect to the horizontal line. Got it? We will proceed with the question ignoring the content angle of depression that is given in the question. We will proceed as per the given figure. In the given figure, angle 30 degree and angle 45 degree are given. So we will take these angles and we will proceed with the answer. Got it? The tiger has moved from this location to this location. Two angles are given, 30 degree and 45 degree. Height of the drone is given. We have to find the average speed of the tiger. Basically, we have to find the distance between the two cases of the tiger. That is the tiger at the first location and the tiger at the second location. The distance between these two scenarios of the tiger. Time it is given, distance we have to calculate. We can apply the formula speed is equal to distance upon time to find the final answer, that is the speed of the tiger. So basically in this question using trigonometry we have to find the distance between the two locations of the tiger. Okay, this is the actual question. Are you able to observe the two triangles in the figure? For simplicity, let's give the name to the vertex of these triangles as A, B, C and D. This triangle is ABC and this triangle is ABD. Got it? The two triangles are formed. Just for simplicity, we have given the name to the vertex. The strategy that we will use to solve this question is, firstly, we will take this big triangle and we will calculate this complete distance. Then we will take this small triangle and we will calculate this distance. And further, we will use the subtraction to find our answer, that is the distance between the two scenarios of the tiger. This approach we will use. Firstly, let's take this triangle, the big triangle with a trigonometric angle as 45 degree. For this triangle, this side will be the perpendicular as this side is opposite to our trigonometric angle, and this side will be the base. Base is the side between the 90 degree angle and the trigonometric angle. So again, base and perpendicular are coming into the picture. Let's use tan theta. Tan theta is equal to perpendicular upon base. Perpendicular we have to find. Base it is given as 54 root 3. Angle theta it is 45 degree. And what is the value of tan 45 degree? It is 1. Okay, tan 45 degree it is 1. So on solving, we got the perpendicular as 54 root 3 meters. This distance we got as 54 root 3 meters. One part we have done. Let's move to the second triangle. Again, for this triangle, we will find the trigonometric side. This side is the perpendicular as it is opposite to our trigonometric angle. This side is the base as it is between the 90 degree angle and the trigonometric angle. Again, we will use tan theta as perpendicular and base are coming into the picture. Tan 30 degree will be equal to perpendicular upon base. Perpendicular we have to find. Base it is given as 54 root 3 meters. Further, what is the value of tan 30 degree? It is 1 upon root 3. This you must know. On solving, we got the perpendicular for this triangle as 54 meters. Got it? We got this distance as 54 meters. This complete distance, it is 54 root 3. This distance, it is 54 meters. So what will be the distance between the two locations of the tiger? It will be 54 root 3 minus 54. Let's put root 3 as 1.73. Let's solve it. We got the distance as 39.42 meters. We got the distance. Let's find the speed of the tiger that the question framer is asking in the question. Speed is equal to distance upon time. Distance we have just calculated as 39.42 meters and time it is given as 3 seconds. On solving, we got the speed as 13.14 meter per second. That is the answer of this question. Got it? We have done all the parts, so we have done with this question. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for being with CREATA Classes. Have a great day and best of luck.